thing at the Museum of History and Industry. They did a retrospective. Cool. So I talked to
Welcome into Melbourne Ballpark for the final weekend of regular season ABL action. This is the Pregame Pregame Show. I'm Ed Wyatt. He's Max Tanzer, the voice of the Melbourne Aces. And Max, it does not get any bigger than this. 4 games for the Aces against the defending champion Adelaide Giants for a spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, and both teams have yet to clinch their position. Adelaide, with a win tonight, could be the second ABL team to find a spot in the postseason this year. Meanwhile, the Aces currently tied with Canberra for the 4th and final playoff spot. They don't have the tiebreaker there, but they do with Perth, who they're a game behind as well. So really, they just have to play a game better than the latter 2 teams this weekend in order to ensure they have a ticket to the games.
Sounds simple, doesn't it?
Yeah, very
You got
simple.
a chance to speak with John Deeble, the Aces manager, before the game, and he talked about that emotional series against Sydney and what it's going to be like heading into this series against Adelaide.
Look, we have to win, 2 to 3 games this weekend, preferably 3. So, you know what happened last week happened and everyone's moved on. So, we just look forward to 4 games against Adelaide.
And then this is a really good Adelaide team. You guys obviously have a lot of experience playing them. What's the key to this weekend?
Look, we've had some unfortunate with Moromando being shut down by his team, and we're very supportive of him. It's such a big deal, money-wise, that, he couldn't take that risk of losing that contract. So, the unfortunate thing is we've lost 4 other pitchers, so we've had to replace some guys from club ball this weekend, and, a real thank you to a lot of the clubs that have been able to help us out. So, we're going out there to win 4, and, we've got confidence offensively in our bats, and the pitchers get out there and throw strikes. If everybody can lift a little bit, and as a whole, we want to try and make sure that we can cover Sean Moromando.
And then Jonathan Tripp getting the start tonight. His last 2 home starts specifically have been really good. When he's dialed in, it seems like he goes to a completely different level. What's the key to getting him into that spot?
Look, just pitching ahead, I think, and using his secondary pitches, but he's been very good for us. He's a workhorse. He wants to be out there. He competes, and I think that's the biggest thing against their team. Obviously, their left-hand hitting is very strong, so he's going to have to do a good job to keep them at bay. But we've got to tighten up our defence. That's the main thing for us. A lot of times we've had 2 outs on 5 pitches, and, if we make an error, it sort of drags out. So we've got to make sure that we tighten up the defence behind him.
And then this has been a Melbourne Ballpark crowd that has been prevalent all season long. You guys lead the league in attendance. How fun is it to play in front of these loud crowds?
Look, our fans are the best. They're the best, and they come out, and even last week they were cheering loud, and they were getting right into the game. And it's a great presentation. It's a great night out here. So we look forward to a big crowd again, and hopefully we can come home with 3 to 4 wins. It'd be nice.
Great job as always, Max. Steve's telling us that the bats need to come to life, and when you look at that lineup, they've got the guys to do it. Aaron Whitefield, Jared Dale, the top 2 hitters in the ABL, Darryl George, Greg Bird, Robbie Glendenning, the list goes on and on. Equally important, it's going to be the arms.
Definitely, and it's going to be a tough lineup for Jonathan Tripp to navigate tonight as well. This is an Adelaide lineup with plenty of thump in it. Deeble alluded to it. Lots of left-handed hitters as well for a right-hander and Tripp on the mound. On the other side, it's going to be Lachlan Wells, who has been fantastic this year, an ERA of 3 on the dot. Leads the ABL in strikeouts, punching out just over 11.5 hitters per 9 innings. Jonathan Tripp, though, has been fantastic at home in his last 2 starts, punching out 16 hitters. Just 1 run allowed in those previous 2 starts here on this Melbourne Ballpark mound. So should be a good pitcher's move tonight.
Yeah, should be a great one. First pitch is coming up right after this.
The track, kiss it goodbye. Puts it out to left field. It's got some carry. Ray is back. See you later. Daryl George gives the Aces the lead. It's 3-2, and that's got the carry. Work is back. He leaps and he makes the catch. Oh. Center fielding team, Simmons it back at the track, it is gone! Oh! History for Greg Bird, his 3rd homer of the night! He charges this one up to left field, back is Kennelly, he can only watch, it's gone! Jared Dale picks up his 2nd. Swing, and this one set in the air, deep right field, Campbell back, track, wall, it's off the wall! Greg Bird wins it for the Aces, 5-4 and 9. For baseball, as we get set to get round 10 started. That's right, we're in the final series of the regular season here in the 2024-25 Australian Baseball League season. Maybe the biggest matchup of the year for the Aces is on deck as they take on the 2-time reigning champs, the Adelaide Giants. Welcome into Melbourne Ballpark. I'm Max Tanzer, joined as always by Ed Wyatt. And Ed, the Aces took 3 of 5 from Sydney last week, and now right on the outside looking in for a playoff spot.
Yeah, super important weekend, obviously, for both teams, but you'd say more so for the Aces because they're at the moment on the outside looking in. Just had a shot of the 4 umpires there. They would be hoping for a much quieter weekend here at Melbourne Ballpark than last week because we had controversy, we had ejections, we had brawls, we had yapping between managers and umpires, so they would hope for a much quieter weekend, I think.
And these are 2 teams themselves, the Giants and the Aces, who have plenty of history together. The Aces coming in at 17-19, tied for 4th place. They do not have the tiebreaker with Canberra. Meanwhile, the Giants 20-16 as we take a look at our weather, brought to you by Vibrant Services. 21 degrees Celsius here at the ballpark. Wind not particularly a factor as it moves at 19 kilometers per second or so. Well, let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight, brought to you by John Deeble for the Aces as we take a look at Aaron Whitefield, who is set to lead things off for Melbourne, followed by Jared Dale at shortstop. Robbie Glendenning will bat 3rd and right. Greg Bird cleans things up over at first. Daryl George bats 5th at 3rd base. Morgan McCullough, he had such a good weekend last week. 8 of 16. He rides a 5-game hitting streak into this one. He bats 6th. Logan Moore will DH and hit 7th. Mitch Edwards bats 8th behind the plate. And Chris Burke rounds out the 9 in left field. Jonathan Tripp on the mound for the Aces. We'll tell you much about him in just a couple of moments. Taking a look at the Giants side, Nick Ward to lead things off in left field, Liam Spence at short, Jared Carr in center, Rickson Wingrove, the first baseman, cleans up, Jordan McGardle, the DH, bats 5th, Diego Gonzalez at 3rd, hits 6th, Briley Knight will bat 7th and right, Luis Kaikuto, the catcher, hits 8th, and Nico Pacagrego bats 9th at 2nd base, Lachlan Wells on the mound. Let's step aside for the Australian national anthem. ready to go here at Melbourne Ballpark. It's the Aces and the Giants. The Giants a win away from clinching a playoff spot. The Aces currently looking to gain as much ground as they can on Canberra, who plays tonight, Perth, who plays Sydney tomorrow, and of course, with a sweep here, if that's possible against the Giants, they could also secure a playoff spot. Ed, we get a look at Jonathan Tripp, who looks to set the tone on the biggest weekend yet here for Melbourne.
Yeah, it's a really important start tonight because of the news that Sean Morimando will not pitch anymore. He signed with the Fubon Guardians in the Chinese Professional Baseball League in Taiwan. They've basically said no more pitching. We need you for us. So that's a huge loss for the Aces rotation. So this start tonight for Tripp becomes actually a little more important.
Absolutely. You don't have him and his guaranteed at least 5 innings, maybe even 6
Yeah, that's
tomorrow.
right.
Well, Tripp has been really good at home, as we talked about in the Brick Lane pregame show. Over his last 2 starts, 12 innings. He's allowed just 1 run, the most recent against Sydney, which came a week ago from today. But he'll face a very daunting lineup that's very left-handed heavy in the Adelaide Giants. Adelaide comes off a series split with Brisbane. They took the first 2 games of that set, and then dropped the final 2. So the Aces looking to pounce on them early and maybe catch them cooling off just a little bit. Again, 20 wins is a pretty good benchmark here in the ABL. Again, generally, obviously, you guarantee a 500 season or better. But on top of that, in a 6-team league where 4 teams make the playoffs, if you hit the 20 mark, you're generally making the postseason. But they're not 100% guaranteed yet, so they have a lot to play for here today.
Indeed they do. Thank you for tuning in tonight. By the way, we hear there is a bit of a watch party at Sporty's Bar over in South Australia in Adelaide. So hello and welcome to all of you watching that. Should be a good one. We know how good the Adelaide Giants are. There's no doubt about it. You look down that lineup, there is a lot of talent in that lineup.
A lot of experience, too, here in this Australian Baseball League. Again, have won the last 2. Claxton Shields. First pitch from Tripp is a fastball over the plate, and we are underway for strike 1. Nick Ward to lead things off for Adelaide.
Yeah, Ward, 3rd year in the ABL, finished 2nd in MVP voting a couple of seasons. Very good hitter, .314 career coming into the season. Hit .324 last year. Just a remarkable talent. And, we'll be saying that about a lot of these Giant players tonight.
Leads the team with 7 homers, hitting at a .261 mark entering tonight. And this one's driven high in the air out to right. Glendening back to the track. Now the wall reaches up, and he can't make the play. It's over his head now as it hops over the wall for a leadoff ground rule double.
Now, Max, I noticed when we did the Vibrant Services weather, you said wind shouldn't be a factor. I can tell you, even though it wasn't blowing hard according to that graphic, it's swirling pretty badly down there. So I wouldn't be surprised. You see the flags in the background going. Wouldn't be surprised if Glendening lost that in the wind. Maybe the sun as well, too.
Absolutely. And Robbie, a middle infielder by trade, getting really his first opportunity to start consistently in the outfield here with the Aces this winter. Here's Liam Spence now. Good chance for Adelaide to jump on the board early. First pitch is bunted foul for strike 1. Something John Diebel talked about as well is that one of the biggest keys in this series will be the defense for the Aces. He mentioned it particularly with 2 outs. It can extend some innings for them, but even if you go back to the doubleheader against Sydney last weekend, early on in that first game, they struggled defensively, kick a couple balls around, and all of a sudden you're trailing with the snap of a finger.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As Spence steps in, played 6 different positions last year. Of course, was a star at the University of Tennessee and in the Cubs organization.
0-1. 0-2. So they ruled that an E9 on Glendening. So no base hit for Ward.
Glendening has been very good out there since that switch from the infield to the outfield. But again, I think you can probably blame that one on the wind. If you look now, the flag's blowing steadily from left to right in that right field area.
0-2 to short. Dale over to first base. In time, one away. To third goes Ward. So Spence retired. That'll bring up a really good story here in the second half for the Giants, and that is this man right here, Jarrett Carr, the center fielder, has picked up a hit in 14 of his first 15 contests, is riding a 13-game hitting streak. He has been so good this year with plenty of speed, has provided some thump as well. The infield will be drawn in here for the Aces. Ward at third, one down, just getting underway here in round 10. As Tripp fires in a strike, 0-1.
Going to have to chat with him, Max, too, because he grew up in Martinsburg, West Virginia, which is about maybe an hour from where I grew up, halfway Maryland.
Look at that. 0-1. 1-1. Good spot over there.
Yeah, it's Western Maryland, that part of West Virginia, really nice. Shepherd University is where he went. A lot of kids I went to high school with went to Shepherd as well. It's a very small school, but well known in that region.
1-1. 3/4 hack, 1 and 2, tied him up.
Just one of those funny things where you're, across the world, and here's two guys from, pretty obscure little towns about an hour away from each other.
It's the beauty of baseball, right? It
is.
brings everybody together.
It is.
I think you could argue even on the opposite side of the ball in America, an affiliated ball, as Carr stays alive. There's plenty Australian-born players over there on the state side of things, and I'm sure when they get to cross paths, it's a really special moment.
Yep.
I'm sure a lot of them have played in this league and battle against each other in the minor leagues, the major leagues, of course, independent ball. 1-2 the count here. Here's the pitch. Popped up. This could be a big break. Darryl George looking if it could stay in play. He reaches up. It's just out of his reach.
It's about a meter away from being able to make that catch. Kind of be a cool night. Sun's out now, and it was 21, but it'll drop a bit tonight and tomorrow. Meant to be fairly cool. Saturday and Sunday a little bit warmer. So be interesting to see if that affects the players in any way, shape, or form.
After consistently sitting above 30 degrees last weekend, we're much cooler here tonight.
So much. Now, I actually have a long-sleeved shirt on. Last week it was had the fan in the booth.
Popped foul. George giving it a look out of his reach. Count still at 1-2 here on Carr. Again, just getting underway here on the final Thursday night in the regular season. I know, did you bring the fan this weekend?
I decided not to bring the fan. I don't think we need it today. We maybe would need it Saturday, but we'll see. I'll play it by ear.
You can see Jonathan Tripp going with the bright red long sleeves tonight. Again, a little chillier on that mound as well. 1-2, got him swinging, a big one for Tripp, smothered by Edwards. And he's going to make a throw, and it's off the wrist of Bird. You can see Edwards hesitate after Nick Ward at third base kind of made a fake to the plate, and that is another break for Adelaide, first and third with one away.
Get a look at it here, Max. Good pitch there. Edwards having a little trouble. Sort of took his time. That second look there is what did it, unfortunately.
And the throw might have hit Carr, so that'll be a strikeout wild pitch. And that's 2 plays now that the Aces would like to have back. And here's Rickson Wingrove with a chance to get Adelaide on the board.
A dangerous hitter here.
First pitch. Grounded sharply and through into right for a base hit. Ward comes around to score from third, and the Giants strike first here in Melbourne. It's 1-0. RBI for Wingrove. That's his 17th. And the inning continues. Get another look. Wingrove jumping on the first pitch. That's a good pitch from Tripp, but an even better piece of hitting from Wingrove, getting that sinker down out of the zone, finding a way to turn it around. First and second now. Here's Jordan McGardle. Another big left-handed hitter. 0-1. So this inning really extended here for Tripp.
Yeah, without sounding negative, this is exactly what John Diebel would not have wanted. A couple of sloppy plays, already behind, a lot of pitches for Tripp, just not great.
It's something, too, that for whatever reason happens with Tripp on the mound. It's been a theme this year. 0-1. Charged up to center, fairly deep. Whitefield back as the wind picks up on it. He makes the catch. Carr tags from second and heads to third. Runners at the corners with 2 away. But Tripp's had a lot of outings this year where innings have been extended on him due to errors or really just batted ball luck in general. And that's not always something that the Aces defense can control, but soft little grounders that hitters can beat out, seeing eye singles that sneak through just every sort of hole you can find on the infield, and then an inning like this where you feel like you have to get 4 or 5 outs to get out of it. Here's Diego Gonzalez, the third baseman. Sharply hit to third. George on a couple of hops gets the force at second, and that'll end the inning. Not before Adelaide jumps on the board. They pick up 1 hit, but take advantage of a couple defensive breaks. We head to the bottom of the first. Aces will swing the bats for the first time this weekend when we return here on Aces TV.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Ublinds Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out.
Back at Melbourne Ballpark. As you can see, plenty of fans here. Oh, look at that. Some Adelaide fans in the crowd
there
here
are
tonight.
A fair few Adelaide fans, Max. I was walking around pregame. Good representation.
Well, the Aces will have a tough task to face here with the Giants hurler on the mound. That's Lachlan Wells, who's been one of the best arms in the ABL this season. As you take a look at the Aces coaching staff right there, a couple of fans taking some video. A good night for a good shot here at the ballpark with the sun shining bright. But Wells for the Giants, the brother of Alex, who we saw with Sydney last week. Lachlan this year, an ERA of 3 on the dot. He leads the league in strikeouts. K per 9 of 11.6. This is an Adelaide pitching staff that strikes out more than any pitching staff in the Australian Baseball League, averaging more than 10 per game, essentially. They have been incredible. So the Aces, I'm sure, will look to jump early in the count against Wells. You do not want to fall behind against him.
Of course, spent last year with Reading, AA, the Phillies affiliate.
Quite the Philadelphia presence, of course. Giants manager Chris Adamson, a coach in the Phillies organization with high A Jersey Shore. Aaron Whitefield to lead things off. He shows bunt and pulls back for ball 1.
I think they have cheesesteaks in the clubhouse.
I'm sure, right? I've gone to Clearwater for some of their low A affiliate games. Here's the 1-0 to Whitefield. Lined right to Wingrove, who snatches potential hit number 300 from right field. 1 away.
Don't tell me it's going to be another weekend of that, Max.
Get
Hard
look.
hit balls right at players. The Aces were haunted by that last weekend against Sydney.
One Team Australia player to another right there. Here's Jared Dale.
Yeah, they'll be teammates against the Hanwha Eagles, you would suspect, coming up.
Absolutely. Again, that game will be hosted here at Melbourne Ballpark.
That's going to be fun.
International Baseball Showdown, the 14th, 15th, and 16th of February.
Already starting our research on Hanwha.
It's going to be exciting. 0-1 the count on Dale. 1-1. But I was saying in Clearwater, Baycare Ballpark, that's the spring training home of the Phillies, but the Clearwater Threshers, the low A affiliate, plays there. They ship in cheesesteaks from Philadelphia because, of course, that affiliate's in Florida. 1-2 the count on Dale, and they are so good.
Oh, yeah.
Have you had a Philly cheesesteak before?
Mate, all my relatives are from Philly.
Right.
Course.
You're an East Coast.
Hoagies and cheesesteaks.
Wawa, were Wawas there back then?
Yes, they were. The Wawa stores, yes.
Wawa's dangerous. 1-2. Blown out to shallow right. Ranging out is Grego, and is the right fielder Knight. It's Knight who makes the catch. 2 quick outs here for Lachlan Wells.
Knight didn't really have any trouble with that, but you could see there was sort of an adjustment factor from all the players running out there. So I think right field is going to be a little tricky tonight.
I think it'll be harder going back on a ball than in.
Yeah.
As you can see, that one almost was pushed tonight with the wind. It's gusting right now, you're right. Versus if you're going back on it, it's just going to kind of find that jet stream. Here's Glendinning. First pitch is across the inner edge, 0-1. So 2 errors officially ruled on the Aces in that first, by the way. One on Glendinning and right, the other was ruled to Edwards on that throw to first. Next pitch. Quickly 0-2.
Tom West behind the plate, by the way. Takayuki Ichikawa at first. Jeff Dunn at second, and Koki Suzuki down at third.
First time we've seen West.
I was thinking that, yeah.
0-2 to Glendinning. Scoots him back, 1-2.
I did see Jeff Dunn before the game. I said, hope it'll be a quieter weekend. He said, laughed. He said, yep. I hope so, too.
I mean, if you want to get into umpiring one day, watch that series. 1-2 is rolled down the line. Count still holds.
There was literally an argument, I think, 4 of the 5 games. There was the brawl in the one, and then there were the other controversies in the other.
Even before Saturday, it was really something.
Yeah.
And you got to give them credit, too, for handling all of the difficulties throughout that weekend. Can't give them enough credit, even though it's hard in the moment to figure it out, I'm sure. Glendinning sends this to right. Knight is back towards the line. It's ranging foul, and it's out of play.
Knight gave that a good chase down there, but the wind was always going to push that out of play. Good outfielder, Riley Knight. It's actually a really good Adelaide outfield, to be honest. Ward, Carr, and Knight.
A lot of speed.
It's a good team, let's be honest. Of course, they have a good outfield.
And a potential home series is still possible for them as well, depending on how Sydney and Perth go. 1-2. Swing and a miss.
Good pitch.
Lachlan Wells picks up right where he left off. A 1-2-3 first inning to get his night started. We head to the top of the second. Adelaide leads 1-0. We're back here at Melbourne Ballpark. The sun is glistening here as we got a good crowd on hand tonight, expecting big crowds throughout the entire weekend. Again, this your last shot in the regular season to get out to Melbourne Ballpark. We got 3 more games after this one. 7 o'clock starts on Friday and Saturday night, fireworks on Friday night, and then an afternoon 1 p.m. start time on Sunday. So make sure to get out to the ballpark, at least to see an Aces game. Again, we got the Hanwha series. We have the KT Wiz game that was just announced a couple of days ago as well. Those tickets on sale. So baseball runs through the city of Melbourne now, at least till mid-February or so.
One of the great names, KT Wiz.
Right?
It's actually Korea Telecom. That's what the KT stands for. Most of those teams are owned by big companies, Samsung Lions and things like that. But KT Wiz.
It's magical. 7, 8, and 9 due up here for Adelaide. First pitch from Tripp is a check swing, and it's a strike either way. 0-1.
Here is Riley Knight, of course, that hero of last year's ABL Championship Series. Son of Brooke Knight, of course, who we saw last week managing the Sydney Blue Sox.
Quickly 0-2, a good front door sinker. Yeah, that's right. A lot of connections, a lot of family connections between Adelaide and Sydney with the Wells brothers and father and son duo of Brooke and Briley Knight. 0-2, back foot breaking ball. Did he go? Suzuki says he didn't. 1-2 now to count. Knight riding a 6-game hitting streak, was 6 for 12 with 2 doubles against Brisbane last weekend. And he's in the 7th spot. I mean, this is a very lengthy lineup. Chopped up the middle. McCullough plays back, now circles, throwing the runs in time. He's as smooth as it gets over there at second base. 1 up, 1 down.
Yeah, and I've talked about it all year. He gets rid of it so quickly. He's been really good in the field. That's a slow roller. Knight runs pretty well.
And he took a pretty long route to it.
Watch how quickly he gets out of the glove.
You're absolutely right. And I actually, when it was in play, was thinking he's got to hurry. But with that quick transition, he knows he can take some time as the catcher Luis Caikuto digs in here.
He's another Phillies minor leaguer, Caikuto, Venezuelan. Played at Jersey Shore and Low A Clearwater. Yeah, there's a little Melbourne connection as well, too. Blake Townsend, Darcy Longstaff started their careers at Melbourne. That's lined into center. Whitey can't make the play. It's going to go to the fence. Sorry, Max.
No worries. It could be trouble as Caikuto is turning on the Jets for third. Whitefield gets it back in quickly. Caikuto gets the stop sign, a 1-out triple for the Adelaide backstop.
Look at that pose on third, too, from Caikuto.
Good piece of hitting, and Whitefield in center took a gamble on it, and unfortunately just a little bit out of his reach if you're looking from the Aces side.
It's a rare one from Whitey. He did try to make the play.
So no error on that play, of course, but again, it does allow an extra couple of bases here for Adelaide, and the Aces will draw their infield in here.
Here's Nico Puaka-Grego.
First pitch is slashed and caught by George on a leap. 2 away.
Nice play, Darrell's been so good at third.
And again, because the infield was in, it's a much tougher play with his range cut down. If he was at normal depth, this is probably right at him. Look at those hops right there from the big man.
He could still get up.
So 2 away, the infield gets the play back as the lineup flips over to Nick Ward. Tripp now and out away from walking the tightrope here. Ward reached on that E9 of the first inning. Strike called 0-1. You and I were talking about it. Not that it shouldn't have been ruled an E9, but it is a tough E9 on Glendenning out there and right. I don't know if he touched it either, but
we've seen those given as hits.
Absolutely, and I'm sure Ward would have loved the double right there. 0-1. Breaking ball backs up. Count evens up. Definitely one Robbie would like to have back, but had to kind of reach at the last second, especially with that wind tugging it. One. Outside, 2-1 now the count. For Tripp, it was a 17-pitch first inning. This will be his 10th of the second here. Two-one. Blown out to shallow center. McCullough back out there into no man's land. It drops for a base hit. Caikuto comes around to score from third, and Adelaide doubles their lead. It's 2-0.
You called it perfectly, Max. No man's land. Just dropped right in there. I thought McCullough might have been able to get to it, but that was just from where we sit.
Just a little bit out of his reach. Nice snag on the hop, but fortunately doesn't count. RBI for Ward, that's his 22nd. Spence, meanwhile, lines this out to left, and Chris Burke's got time to make the catch, and that will end the inning. However, Adelaide jumps on the board once again on the Nick Ward RBI parachute into right center field. Bottom of the second on its way. Giants leading 2-0.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. to share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Aces trail 2-0. Light and easy, of course. Over 100 delicious, nutritionally balanced meals to choose from. We had the smoothies last week. You made me try a smoothie, and it was pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of that sort of tropical flavor, but that was good.
It was. We had the mango flavor, and it was delicious. I think the best part about it was just how quick it took to make it. You just put some powder in, either water or milk, and then shake it up, and they give you a bottle for yourself too, and it's ready to go in less than a minute, honestly. And it was delicious, especially on a rainy day like that one. We needed a little pick-me-up after sitting around. That was a 3-hour weather delay.
We certainly did. lightandeasy.com.au.
Here's Greg Bird against Wells. First pitch runs inside, and that just scraped Greg Bird. How many times in the last couple of games has he been hit by a pitch by maybe a lacing on his jersey?
Yeah, none of them would have hurt him.
Yeah,
none of the times he's been hit would have been hurt.
First base runner of the day. Man.
I don't know how you picked that up.
I think Tom West is purely going on sound right there. Must have heard something tip. Well, either way, that on-base percentage continues to grow. Greg Bird has now gone on base in 10 consecutive games.
Can't we bring that rule back where the pitcher gets automatically ejected? We'll get Wells out of the game.
First pitch to George, sliced and over the head of Grego in the right center for a hit. The ball is bobbled and now scoots towards the track. Bird at a third. They'll stop him there. George advances station to station. There's a break for the Aces. Second and third, nobody out.
That's a big hit from Darryl. And then a little bit of a misfield allows the runners to advance. Just kind of drops in over the head of Puaka Grego. And a little miscommunication there between Knight and Carr, maybe. And for those of you who didn't know what I was talking about last week, because of that little kerfuffle, that brawl in the next game, basically, if a batter got hit, the pitcher was ejected no matter what, on purpose or not. And we saw that curveball from O'Meara, and he was booted. We didn't know it at the time, but it was just basically the umpires had warned the teams, anyone gets hit, they're out.
Yes, and we don't think there was any intention with a breaking
ball.
No,
we don't, actually.
Just scraped the back foot of Bird, but there were warnings before the game. Here's McCullough, 2-0 now the count. By the way, that is single for George and the E9 that advances him into second base. So 3 errors already from both sides combined in this game.
That's remarkable.
McCullough, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, 8 for 16 against Sydney last week. Had a handful of multi-hit games in that series as well. He was unstoppable. Sends this out to center. Late jump for Carr. Now trailing into the gap. He'll make the catch. Bird tags from third. The throw goes to third. And the Aces will get on the board for the first time tonight.
That'll work.
Sac fly for McCullough gives him his first RBI of the season, and it's 2-1 Adelaide. Does his job, takes advantage of the defensive miscue too that got Bird over to third base, and here's Logan Moore now. And you could see early on the Aces have been very aggressive in counts against Wells, knowing that he's got so much swing and miss, and he's really lethal with 2 strikes. They're jumping on pitches early. That one breaks in across the outside corner for strike 1. So maybe Logan Moore had different thoughts. Maybe he was sitting fastball. Who knows?
It's the announcer's curse, isn't it? You say something the opposite happens.
Right, he's making me look silly. Grounded to second. Puaka Grego gobbles it up, takes his time, 2 away. To third goes George.
To be fair, we have been very accurate with a number of calls this season.
I think
so
we're at like a
balances
45%
out.
clip,
Yeah,
which
balances out.
in a baseball setting is fine. Really good. Hey, it proves that nothing's scripted, right? There's a lot of people out there
That's
that
right.
think that the NFL is scripted. No, not the ABL.
I can tell you, the ABL's the farthest thing from scripted.
Here's Mitch Edwards taken for a strike on one. Well, I said it last weekend. Last weekend's series was like a Quentin Tarantino movie. I mean, there were so many twists. It was unthinkable, unimaginable. 0-1 to Mitch. Down low, count evens up.
I walked out to the parking lot after that Sunday game, and I said to Graham Lloyd, "What a game!" Or something. He said something like one of the weirdest games I've ever seen. I'm like, "That's Graham Lloyd.
Yeah.
He's seen a lot of games."
Yeah,
and
he
he's saying
brings-
that's one of the weirdest games I've ever seen.
It was special. 1-1. Line to right, a base hit. We're tied.
That's huge.
Mitch Edwards continues his hot and timely hitting. We're back where we started here in Melbourne. It's 2-2.
What I say, ever since he got kicked out of that game, he's been on a tear.
He's been swinging it really good from the right side, too. Homered from the right side of the plate on Sunday, and then just sees the ball deep with the second baseman, Puaka Grego, ranging up the middle. RBI for Mitch, that's his 6th. And here's Chris Burke. We'll go lefty on left against Wells. Well, that's a good response after a slow start for the Aces. Got to feel good for Jonathan Tripp, too, who I'm sure feels good about in terms of his stuff and honestly some of the batted ball quality, too, just catching some tough breaks on the defensive side of things when balls are put in play, but now gets to come out for the third and pretend like this game has just started. 0-1. Grounded sharply and through a base hit. Chris Burke with a knock lefty on left, first and second, and the lineup will flip over to Aaron Whitefield.
Hitting it hard. You can see Burke here just all over it. Wells actually has to duck as that sizzled back.
Whitefield lined out sharply to Wingrove at first.
Yeah, so they're hitting it hard. They're hitting the ball hard.
Much different look for Wells in this one after 6 shutout innings at Brisbane last week. 2 runs now through 2 2/3. Aces looking for more. First pitch is taken all the way for a strike. Most that Wells has allowed in a game this season was 4. That was 2 outings ago versus Canberra. Besides that, it's been quality start after quality start after quality start. 0-1 to Whitefield. Swing and a miss. He's gotten a couple fastballs grooved across the heart. 0-2.
Yeah, that was a good fastball, that one.
Aaron sitting on 299 hits in his career. But I'm sure just thinking about giving the Aces the lead. Edwards at second, Burke at first. Both will be going on contact. 0-2. Grounded softly to second. Puaka Grego throws on the run in time to retire the side. The Aces sent 7 to the plate and bring around 2 to score to knot the game up at 2 apiece. Mitch Edwards highlights it with an RBI single, a sac fly from McCullough as well. Top of the third on its way. 2-2 as Tripp comes out for his third inning.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Look at the sky as the sun begins to set here at Melbourne Ballpark. Aces tied the game up in the bottom of the second inning on a sac fly and an RBI single as Jonathan Tripp comes out in a brand new ball game. As we get a look at some of the fans a little bit more bundled up tonight as they were enjoying the warm weather last week.
Yeah, much different. Last week it was how do we stay cool. Tonight, how do we stay warm?
I forgot my sweatshirt today.
Rookie mistake. I think this far into the season, you
Right?
know that now, Max.
I was used to the 30-degree plus days, but not anymore. I'll bring it tomorrow, and it'll be like 35 or something. 3, 4, and 5 due up here for Adelaide against Tripp. Here's Jared Carr to lead it off as the first pitch is outside, 1-0. Carr reached on the strikeout wild pitch on a play that I think Mitch Edwards would like to have back. Double clutched a couple times with the runner on third. 1-1.
Made up for it with that hit, though.
He did. Tied the game up. Tripp at just about 30 pitches as he gets things started here in the third. So despite having to navigate some trouble, has still been able to keep the pitch count in good shape. He's gone as high as 89 this season. Down and in, 2-1. For Tripp, his only other outing against Adelaide came on the road. That was back on the 13th of December. Got a no decision, 5 innings, 3 runs. One of them was earned, so he was good that night. 3-1 now the count. He's someone that John Diebel has described as a workhorse, a guy who wants to be out there. And he'll be the only Aces pitcher to make 10 starts this year. Carr's a guy you would like to leave off the base paths. Plenty of speed for him. 3-1 is taken for a strike. Carr thought it was ball 4. Instead, 3-2.
Just hit the outside corner, says Tom West.
Three-two. Swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying into the first base dugout.
Wow.
One away. Oh, man, everyone's okay. There's Ben the Bat Boy getting it back there. Get another look.
Wow.
Talk about pulling the string. Doesn't want that back.
That is super dangerous. Look at that.
It's a good shot. Good thing it hit that turf down there. So 1 away. Whew. Strikeout number 2 for Tripp. Both of them have been against Carr. Here's Wingrove. Good backdoor breaking ball. Frisbee's over for strike 1.
A couple weeks ago, we've seen all the balls batted into the dugout. Now it's bats.
0-1. Swing and a miss out in front of another good bender. 0-2. That's a curveball right there from Tripp. Ever since Dietzla's left, we really haven't seen any bats thrown. Of course, Arturo on his swings through many. Rounded out to second. McCullough's got time. 2 quick outs for Tripp.
And one of the things we saw during the Sydney series was a number of times retiring the first 2 batters, and then the third batter gets on by a hit or a walk, and then the inning is dragging out. That would be something Tripp would love to avoid this weekend.
Something John Diebel told me earlier before the game today, too.
Oh, is that right?
He talked about the defense, but specifically in those spots.
Yep.
As McArdle takes out.
See, Deebs and I are on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
He just has a few more rings than I have. I do have 2, mind you, 2
for
ABL
who?
rings.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Did you get a ring?
I did.
Oh, that's amazing.
The Aces, Brett Ralph, and everyone involved was kind enough to give us rings.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Those are prized possessions.
They're great. They're really good.
2-1 now the count on McArdle.
I don't wear them out. I don't go out to
Why not?
bars
Bring it
and
tomorrow.
then go, hey, how you doing? Oh, that little thing? Oh, that's a ring. That's an ABL championship ring.
2-1 is seared on the ground and
wow.
over the head of Bird. A tricky hop as Glendenning will cut it off. A single for Jordan McArdle. The ball bobbled a bit, but he holds.
A crazy hop.
I think it might have gotten off the cut between the turf and the dirt right there.
We talked about that a lot this year. Yeah, it did. Hit right where that dirt meets the red turf.
Yeah, that cutout.
Luckily, McArdle not super fleet of foot, so he'll have to stay at first.
So here's Diego Gonzalez. He grounded out to third of the first. This time pounds it to short. Dale will shovel to McCullough for the 6'4 fielder's choice. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left on for Adelaide as we head to the bottom of the third. 2-2 your score.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Bottom of the third. We got a good one going. Adelaide 2, Melbourne 2. Just a reminder that Crew Fitness and Performance has a more than vision. What drives the Crew team and its members is a dedication to community and an eagerness to be surrounded by a personal growth culture. Stop into their location in Braybrook or Hoppers Crossing to see for yourself.
Sun is still shining here at Melbourne Ballpark as we get started in the bottom of the third. Tied at 2. Dale, Glendenning, and Bird do up. We'll keep you updated with the scores around the ABL this entire weekend. Again, the other two matchups, Perth versus Sydney and Canberra versus Brisbane, all have implications for both of these teams, specifically for the Aces, who have to outplay Canberra and Perth by one game this weekend to get into a playoff spot. And as long as they outplay one of those teams by one game, they're in. The only other game going on today is Brisbane hosting Canberra, and that's just getting underway. Scoreless, of course. Dale lines this one down the left field line. It's down and quickly to the wall. Dale turning on the Jets for second. The throw from Ward is through the second baseman, Puaka Grego. A double for Dale, and the go-ahead run's in scoring position early on here in the third.
I thought that was going to be a close play at second, Max, but the throw did get away. Fortunately for Jared Dale. Would have been tight, I think. It was hit really hard. Bounces pretty well for Ward there. Makes a decent throw in.
Just a little bit of an in-between hop.
Yeah, and he's also trying to make the tag at the same time. So Dale may have sneaked in anyway, but it's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. He's on.
Chance for the Aces to take their first lead of the night. First pitch to Glendenning. He's laid on a fastball 0-1.
Game's very balanced. 4 hits each, 2 runs each, a couple of errors. Very close.
It's a very clean start for Adelaide, but a sloppy bottom of the second has gotten them in trouble. Strike called 0-2.
Don't think Glendenning liked that one. Thought it was maybe inside, a little high. Doesn't matter. Counts.
Wide open right side of the infield for Glendenning. Saw Edwards punch one over there earlier. 0-2. Up and away 1-2. And this is what Wells does a really good job of. Even with the runner in scoring position, just trying to get to 2 strikes. The strikeout is about the most productive out he can get here to try and keep Dale from advancing to third. 1-2. Just a little bit inside, maybe high as well. 2-2.
Very similar to the pitch that was called a strike, to be honest, Max. But hey, it's the human element.
Again, for Adelaide this entire weekend, it's win 1 and you're in. Aces trying to play spoiler and get in themselves. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Climb the ladder with the heater. And Glendenning's down on strikes.
There's another little piece of synergy. 2 strikeouts for each pitcher, both to the same person. Carr with 2 strikeouts, Glendening with 2 strikeouts.
And both of them are the 3 hitters for each side.
Wow. Spooky.
We're in a simulation.
Twilight Zone.
Yes. Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone. I think they remade the Twilight Zone 2 a couple years ago. Well, here's Greg Bird. Was hit by a pitch, and I say that reluctantly. He was really tipped by a pitch. First pitch. Strike called 0-1. Huge pull shift on for Bird. The second baseman, Kuaka Grego, tugged very far into the 4-hole. The shortstop, Spence, you could see his cap at the bottom of your screen, basically straight behind Dale. And he sticks there. He's not just holding him on. Bird lines us out to right center field. Carr is over. It's down for a base hit and a little bit more. How about the Aces lead and an RBI double for Greg Bird? Melbourne takes their first lead of the series.
That's a classic Greg Bird hit. Just smashed that into right center. And not sure if Carr wasn't sure about it. Looked like he was hesitated slightly out there.
A little bit of a late jump. I saw the same thing too. Started back and then had to cut across it. By that point, it was down.
Yeah, from our spot, it's always hard to tell. But look, to me, I thought he was going to get it, when the first looked at it. But just kept going. Big hit from Greg.
26th RBI for Bird on the season. Leads the team in that category. Also adds to his league lead. Here's Daryl George, laid on a fastball, 0-1.
George, of course, singled and scored in the second.
A 1. Sprayed foul. 0-2. Wells has only allowed 3 or more runs twice this season before today. So the Aces really jumping on him early.
That's what John Diebel mentioned in that interview you did with him, Max, that he played pregame. Need the bats to come alive. They have against a very good pitcher.
Darryl calls time. Darryl had such a good series, and it really was just 3 hits. It feels like a lot more, but all 3 of those hits did damage. 2 homers, double. Both of them on Sunday in huge spots.
He was great in the field as well, Max.
0-2. Sprayed foul. He stays alive. You're right. I mean, just doing a little bit of everything in the key spots. Now 5 homers and 19 runs batted in for him this season. Had a little cheering section here on Sunday. They were all chanting, Darryl.
A lot of people out from Geelong.
Got to get them back here, especially for the weekend nights where the crowds are only going to increase. 0-2. Just got a piece. He stays alive.
Yeah, there's no doubt his popularity just continues to grow with Aces fans.
Look at this piece of hit. Just stays alive. Camera's okay too. Coming close there. See it right above that E in Melbourne once you get back to that center field camp. Count still 0-2. Pitch from Wells. Up and in. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Had one of those cameras on the nets at the Australian Open, and Daniel Medvedev smashed it, broke the camera.
That.
You see that?
It's probably a lot of money right there.
Maybe we get a big fine for that.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, hopefully no one does that here too. I can't imagine they will. We're scared of a foul ball, honestly. 1-2, just got a piece of that.
That'll stay alive. That could land in the crowd here. No, just out of play.
Off the roof of the party deck.
Yeah, just hit the roof up there.
So still 1-2 here on Darryl. Again, 1 run in on the RBI double from Greg Bird that has given the Aces a 3-2 lead. 1-2. Inside, counting it's up at 2-2. A good at-bat here that Daryl's worked together.
Yeah, he took the words right out of my mouth. Very good at-bat, very patient, staying alive. Starting to get dark, you can see on the field. Lights will come on soon.
Two. Sprayed foul again. What a really good plate appearance here. And this is going to get that pitch count up on Wells. And that's the key for the Aces here. Get him out of the game and get to that bullpen early here in game 1 of the series. Wells now over 40 pitches here with 1 down in the 3rd. After a couple really quick first 2 innings, even after the 2 runs in the 2nd. 2-2 again. Fisted at shallow left center field. Carr ranging over. He's got room. Makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, it was hit well, but you can just see that one sort of bending back towards Carr in center field. Routine play for the outfielder. 2 down.
Might have broken the bat right there, too. A little bit of a hollow sound. So 2 away here for Morgan McCullough, who picked up his first RBI as an ace his last time up. A sacrifice fly to center. Got the Aces on the board for the first time today. Bird will be going on contact at second base. Man, this Adelaide infield really does like to shift. First pitch. Softly hit up the middle and past Spence into center. Bird getting the wave. Here's the throw from Carr on line. The tag in time. A single for McCullough, but Bird cut down at the plate, and that'll end the inning. Aces do take the lead on the RBI double from Greg Bird earlier in the inning, but let's get another look right here. It looked like Bird was caught a little in between as he got the wave around, and this was a beautiful throw from Carr. And Bird coming in, not even with a slide, gets tagged, as you can see, right on the left leg. Well, we head to the top of the 4th. Aces lead 3-2.
Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now for 2 weeks only. All products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out. Australia.
Some scouting going on here at Melbourne Ballpark. Taking a look at Jonathan Tripp as he throws his warm-up tosses beginning the top half of the 4th inning. We welcome you back to Melbourne Ballpark. It's 3-2 Aces. Good night to scroll through the phone. Looked like maybe a picnic, some fruit and vegetables.
That is the most healthy meal I've ever seen at a ballpark.
I would have to agree.
Wow.
Some grapes, both colors, and some carrots.
Celery or whatever else was in there. That's great. Love it.
And then some kids enjoying up that first base line. What a great view. Again, if you haven't gotten a chance to get out to the ballpark this year, handful of games left in the regular season. Representing John Diebel on the left right there, right? The Aces and the Dodgers gear. Of course, John Diebel, a scout for the Dodgers.
Yes.
7, 8, and 9 for Tripp here as he begins the 4th, and the first pitch is taken for a strike. Briley Knight to lead things off. He's 0 for 1. Grounded out to second base. Next pitch is inside. County puts up at 1-1.
And he's pitching with a lead now. How about that?
Yes. It's got to feel good. He picked up a win last week against Sydney. This one rolled and passed the lunge of Bird in the right field for a knock. Knight picks up his first series. He is now 7 for his last 14. Leadoff single. It's the 5th hit for Adelaide. And here's Luis Kaikuto. Well, you've been brought a treat here, an unexpected treat. You've got a big basket of French fries, chips, covered in gravy.
Normally, I just, as you know, I don't eat a lot. I have a sort of a chicken tender or strip, and that's about it. But this gigantic plate of fries is showing up with gravy on it. I don't know where it came from.
Is it good? Have you had a couple bites?
It is good, yeah. It's not generally what I eat, but hey, it's all right.
Kakutso takes strike one, 0-1. Well, it's much healthier than that kid's bowl of grapes and celery right there.
It's probably tastier. I don't think it's healthy.
It looks a little too messy for me here in our booth, but
yeah, I know.
I might have to steal one. 0-1.
Well, for you, the king of spilling things, I think this would be very too messy. For those of you just tuning in for the first time, Max has been a litany of things that he's spilled in here over the course of the season.
I'm not proud of it. I mean, I spilled another can of Coke about 45 minutes ago. 1-1, 2-1. And I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm lucky it's avoided like all of the technology. There's a sea of wires in this booth, as you can imagine, having to run a live broadcast. And somehow, some way, each time I've spilt my soda, it hasn't gotten everywhere. 2-1 the count. Knight at first base. Pitch to Kakutso is taken for a strike at the knees, 2-2.
Good pitch.
Kakutso tripled back to the second inning on that line drive to center that Whitefield laid out for, but couldn't get, and it rolled all the way to the wall. He'd come around to score on the single from Ward as well. 2-2. Count full, 3-2 now.
Did a nice job, too, on that plate-to-plate sort of remaining static and sort of pretending that the throw wasn't coming before they got Greg Bird.
It's such a tricky play for a catcher, too, because you can't really tell how close the runner is to you. 3-2 is grounded foul up the line. Count still full. You got to catch the ball first. A lot of times you'll see catchers kind of swipe early, and then the ball clanks off their glove because they're thinking about the runner. But you catch the ball, and I think subconsciously you're thinking, he's right on top of me, so I got to drop the tag down. In that situation, Bird was about 4 or 5 steps away, so he had time. 3-2 again. Lined out to right center field. This one's going to get down. Glendinning will cut it off. To second goes Knight. First and second here with nobody out for Adelaide. Back and forth we go.
Good swing, just pops that into the gap. Good play by Robbie getting over it, making sure that Knight doesn't go anywhere else. But 2 men on, no outs.
6 hits now for Adelaide. 12 hits in the game combined with both sides. Here's Nico Alcagrego.
Yeah, Puaka Grego, New Zealander, Kiwi.
Shows Bond as they dance out of the way, 1-0. Lined out to third, back in the second. That came with Kakutso at third base, 1 away. A nice play from George over at third. George and Bird in front of their backs at the corners. Middle back looking to twist one. Outfield fairly shallow here, left to right. That's Burke, Whitefield, and Glendinning. 1-0. Puaka Grego gets it down the line, but it'll trickle foul. 1-1. Both of these teams middle in the pack in terms of run scoring, entering the series tied for third in the ABL, each having scored 167 runs. Adelaide, though, first in on-base percentage as a team at a .354 clip. Draw a ton of walks. First in the league in that category. 1-1. He shows bunt again. Chops it off the plate. Edwards with some English on it. Can't pick it up cleanly. Everybody's safe. Bases loaded. Nobody out. So a chance for Adelaide to check in as we get another look. This is a tough play. As it hit off the plate, it had some spin on it.
And probably, you know, I'm just surmising this, but Mitch thought maybe play at third, maybe first. He was kind of looking around, so I think that may have contributed as well as the sort of tricky spin that you mentioned. Anyway, bottom line is bases are loaded for Nick Ward.
Top of the order. They ruled that an E2 on Edwards, so that's the third error charged to the Aces defense tonight. Ward's already driven in a run. First pitch is taken outside 1-0. Again, nobody out as well. So this will be a tough one for Tripp to get out of here. Canberra and Brisbane scoreless. That one at the top of the second. Again, for the Aces, you're rooting for a Brisbane win tonight.
Yep.
1-0's taken at the top of the zone, 1-1.
Well, we like Shane Watson. We like Brisbane. Surely he can do us a solid, can he?
They've gotten hot
They
late.
have. A little too late. You're right.
The Aces maybe got them hot. Of course, Brisbane beating Melbourne in the final 3 games of that round 7 set. 1-1. Softly lined and over McCullough down for a hit. Knight will score. And we're tied at 3. Base is still loaded, nobody out, and Adelaide's just getting started here in the 4th inning. Tough break with the infield in here, Ed. I think McCullough makes this play if he's playing normal depth.
I think you're right.
Well, all the runners had to hold with how softly it was hit. Here's Liam Spence to the plate now.
Looks like maybe an injury to Kaikuta.
Yeah, he's at third base, hunched over right now, as you can see on your screen. Maybe tweaked something running into third base.
It's actually a break for the Aces here because Jonathan Tripp can take a minute to kind of think things over, maybe chat with Mitch Edwards a little bit. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Is he holding a hammy maybe? We don't want to speculate, but anyway, it looks he may need to come out. In fact, there's going to be a pinch runner right away. It looks like Lou Albrecht, who's also a catcher, also in the Phillies organization. He's going to come out and run, and I would assume pick up the catching duties.
Absolutely. So you can see Albrecht getting stretched over there up the third base line. And Liam Spence due up here again. Nobody out. Bases loaded. Adelaide already has tied the game with 1 run on the RBI single from Nick Ward, and they're hungry for more, as you can imagine. Ward at first. Huaka Grego at second. Now Albrecht at third base. First pitch. Taken for a strike, 0-1.
Need a strikeout, a pop-up, even a ground ball.
George even with the bag, everyone else playing back, so they'll exchange a run for a potential double play. 0-2 quickly here. Tripp's did a good job of getting ahead and filling the strike zone and forcing Adelaide to put the ball in play. We mentioned it, they lead the league in walks, but he's yet to allow a free pass here today. Oh, 2. Up and away, 1-2. And all said and done, Ed, I think Tripp's done a good job today. Just a lot of tough breaks in this one for him.
Yep. Well, 3 errors. That's tough. 3 errors in 4 innings. Not even full 4 innings.
1-2. Popped up, out of play. Count still holds. He has allowed 7 hits, but it's a lot of the defensive miscues that have extended the innings for him.
Yep.
A lot of pitches under pressure now. And you got to give Adelaide credit. They've taken advantage of it.
Yeah, but they're too good a team to not take advantage of those errors.
1-2. Down and away. Count evens up at 2-2. Again, the Giants with a win tonight clinch a postseason spot. They would join Sydney as, at that point, what would be the only 2 teams to clinch a spot. The Aces, meanwhile, technically with the tiebreakers included, 1 game back of Canberra and 1 game back of Perth. Virtually tied, but they don't have the tiebreaker with the Cavalry. So that one's sliced away. Still 2-2 here.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was funny, wasn't it, going into that series? They look at the standings there, Max. Melbourne and Canberra tied, as you mentioned. Brisbane really only 3 games back.
Brisbane's still alive.
Crazy.
Wouldn't that be a story?
That would be a story.
Talk about what would be a second half to remember. 2-2, check swing. He just got a piece. If it's fouled off Edwards. Still 2-2.
The funny thing was going into that Sydney series, all we were talking about was the fact that we had the tiebreaker with Perth, but then Perth got hot, Canberra got cold, and suddenly we're worried about the tiebreaker because we don't have it against Canberra.
Absolutely. So again, because they don't have the tiebreaker, it really is a one-game lead for Canberra right now. 2-2, check swing. Did he go? He did not. That's the first base umpire, Takayuki Ichikawa, on the call. 3-2 now. Close one. Let's see it again here. Close. Tripp will have to make a quality pitch right here. Just under 70 pitches now. Still looking for the first out of the fourth. 3-2. Cranked, but well fouled.
Jeez. He got all of that. Just luckily it was foul. Wow.
Just catching a sinker out in front and barreling it. We're playing cricket. That works.
That would be a 6.
Still 3-2 here. Again, Ward over at first. Waka Grego at second, Albrecht at third. Pitch is lined out to center. Whitefield back. He makes the catch. Albrecht tags from third, and he'll come around to score to give Adelaide a 4-3 lead. Fantastic plate appearance from Liam Spence. Picks up his 12th RBI of the year, and just like that, the Giants get those 2 runs right back.
Yeah, that was a great at-bat from Spence, culminating in that sacrifice fly you mentioned.
Knowing that Tripp had to come to him right there, too, with nowhere to put him, and a screamer out to center. So still first and second, 1 away. Here's Jared Carr. He struck out twice, but did reach on that wild pitch play in the first. Takes a strike, 0-1. So it gets to the point in time where you're wondering if Tripp is close to the end of his night. Again, his season high in pitches is 89, and he's just over 70 now. And no one up in the Aces pen. 0-1. Broken bat looper, shallow center. This one drops in a hit with some English on it. Everybody gets the stop sign and moves up a bag. A broken bat single for Carr. Extends his hitting streak to 14 games. And the bases are loaded again here with 1 away. Get another look. A good pitch in on the hands, and this is a tough break for Tripp. Got the stop contact he wanted.
Agreed.
So here's Rickson Wingrove, and Tripp will have to be careful with him right here. He's already driven in a run today. That was on an RBI single back in the first inning.
Yeah, you do not want to make a mistake with Wingrove or McArdle, who's on deck.
Couple of daunting left-handed hitters in the teeth of this lineup. First pitch. Popped up on the infield. Edwards off with the mask. Tripp towards the line. Makes way to Darryl George. Has a better angle. Infield fly rule called either way. 2 away.
Yeah, that's a huge out.
So Wingrove pops up to third on the first pitch. And here's Jordan McArdle. Get another look. This one was sent up towards the moon. Hasn't even come out yet, and it was flirting with it.
I love Tripp having to get out of the way there. Bird just kind of standing there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm sure Tripp probably a little frustrated that he hasn't gotten as much help on the defensive side of things. Probably was thinking, I'll take that one if I need to. And I don't mean that as a joke. I'm sure that was the mindset, but it's been a tough one today. But with all that said and done, he can get out of this inning, keeping it a 1-run deficit. That's huge for the Aces. First pitch to McArdle, flown in to center. Whitefield's got plenty of time. Waltzes in, makes the catch to end the inning.
There we go.
Adelaide sends 8 to the plate. They push across 2 to take a 4-3 lead, but good work from Jonathan Tripp to keep it at that. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Adelaide now leads by 1.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. 4-3. Adelaide your score after a 2-run inning for the Giants. They sent 8 to the plate, took advantage of a couple other defensive miscues as you get a look at Jonathan Tripp, who has battled here tonight. We'll see if the Aces bullpen starts to get hot.
I mean, the good news if you're an Aces fan is that been hitting Lachlan Wells pretty well. A guy of his ability. The Aces have banged out 5 hits, 3 runs.
As you can hear, our ground announcer Tony say, Logan Moore digs into the plate. 7, 8, and 9 due up here against Lachlan Wells. First pitch. Strike called, 0-1.
Now that score reverses again, and Wells is now pitching with a lead.
Here's the set in the 0-1. Breaking ball, bends in for a strike, 0-2.
That's a beauty of a pitch, that one.
We'll see. It was a long time down for him, which could play as a plus and a negative. We'll see which one for Wells. 1-2. One way you can look at it after a tough bottom of the 3rd inning and bottom of the 2nd, maybe some time to reset. The other side, sometimes you can cool down a little bit and it's hard to get hot again. One, 2 to Moore. Lined out to left center field. A really good piece of hitting. This one's down into the gap for a leadoff single. Tying run aboard. Back and forth we go here in Melbourne.
Yeah, we talked about a pitcher's duel. Turns out it's a hitter's duel.
2 strikes on him. Just serves it the other way. Beautiful. So here's Mitch Edwards. He told me before the game he's feeling really good from the right side. First pitch from Wells, taken upstairs 1-0. Picked up a game-tying RBI single and came back in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Upstairs 2-0.
I was thinking the other day, in terms of a most valuable player, when you look at the Aces, that would be the hardest decision to make because everyone's had their moments and been so key. This guy among them.
Absolutely, especially if you're talking about the singular word valuable, right? Because I think there's some subjective nature to MVP, whether it's the best player statistically or the player that had the most value. And I think for Mitchell Edwards, when it comes to managing the pitching staff and catching as many games as he's had, the role he plays in the clubhouse, 2-0's fouled straight back.
Delivering big hits, absolutely.
A little bit of everything from him.
I mean, there's so many big names and so many deserving guys, but he's right up there for me.
I would agree. Always brings a good attitude, too. Always the first out of the dugout before the game. County puts up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I love what he and Burke bring to the ballpark. Just an energy.
Absolutely. And he's, as young as he is an ABL veteran at this point. He's been around the league. Ace is his 3rd team. 2-2. Popped up. Wingrove took a step in, now ranging back. The Wind grabs it. He makes the catch for out number 1. So that brings up Chris Burke. He singled on a sharp liner back in the second inning, right up the middle. And he has had, I don't know if we call it a breakout season, but he has been one of the biggest and most pleasant surprises for the Aces this year.
Indeed.
If you're just tuning in for the first time this season to an Aces game, his career high for homers was 4, and he hit 3 in just about the stretch of 2 weeks. 2 in that series against Perth in round 4. His first pitch is taken outside and low, 1-0. Hitting at a 277 clip, 3 homers, 13 runs batted in. He's played a very solid left field. Has filled in center field too when Aaron Whitefield needs a little break. 1-0. Skied out to shallow center. Carr trots in, makes the catch. 2 quick outs after the leadoff single to Moore.
Brings up Whitey again. He's still on 299.
That is right.
Yeah.
Still on 299 career ABL hits, so not with the Aces, but throughout his entire career. And talk about a journeyman in this league. Well, he's been just about at least half of the teams in this league, right?
Well, yeah, Brisbane, Adelaide, Melbourne, right?
Yes. First pitch. Swinging a soft ground ball to short. Spence to second. Gets the 6-4 fielder's choice to end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left. We head to the top of the 5th. It's 4-3 Adelaide here on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Thursday night baseball, a little cooler than it has been recently. Master Dry Cleaners is a family-run business operated by the Hudson family for over 70 years. They provide a full range of services through their 7 stores. Free pickup and delivery service for all your dry cleaning and laundry needs. Master Dry Cleaners can also help with repairs and alterations, wedding gown cleaning, and cleaning of doonas and blankets. Find your closest Master Dry Cleaners store at masterdrycleaners.com. Ed Wyatt, Max Tanzer with you. It's a good one. Adelaide 4, Melbourne 3 as we head to the top of the 5th.
And Jonathan Tripp out for his 5th inning of work at 74 pitches. His season high is 89. That was back at Canberra. In round 6, he'll get 6, 7, and 8 here in the Adelaide lineup. And again, he has battled through this one. A couple of tough breaks behind him on the defensive side of things, but he has kept the Aces in this game. You got to tip your cap to him. First pitch to Gonzalez is taken inside, 1-0.
Yeah, but we mentioned earlier Sean Morimondo, the other ace of the Aces staff, not available.
Strike called, 1-1.
His team in Taiwan said, that's it. No more pitches in Australia for you.
I'll tell you what, he's still here. He's still hanging out.
Yeah.
I think he got his flight moved back. 1-1's outside, 2-1. Because he wants to be a part of this still.
Yeah.
And that shows you his character. Obviously a guy who's pitched in the big leagues. He's pitched at several different professional levels. 3-1 now the count. And he's been a leader in this locker room. And he's been the header of the rotation. And even though his season is technically done here in the Australian Baseball League, he still wants to be a part of it, still stay. And I think also show his teammates that he cares, which you got to respect so much, especially for a guy who's reached the levels that he has.
Yeah, absolutely. And you understand, both from the Fubon Guardian standpoint, they want their man healthy and ready to go for the season. And for Sean, he wants that. That's a step up, right? So he wants to play at that level. That's what he's trying to do.
Absolutely, and even when we talked to John Diebel before the game, he was just sharing how much he supports it. 3-2, got him swinging. Good start for Tripp. That's his third punchy of the day. One down here in the fifth. But I think John Diebel understands. You know, it's an opportunity that Sean Morimondo can't pass up. Even in our pregame interview, he mentioned that as well. And Morimondo, after being such a pivotal pitcher for Canberra back in his first ABL season, won the Best Pitcher Award a couple years ago, takes a couple years off from the ABL, comes back with the Aces, and picks up right where he left off. Strike called. Count evens up at 1-1.
Getting that outside corner call tonight from Tom West.
And with that arm side sinking fastball, Tripp will live all over that outside corner, really the arm side part of the plate. 2-1 now the count.
Tried it again there, just missed.
Riley Knight in here. He's 1 for 2. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Nice to have a quick inning here for Jonathan.
2-2. Time now called, and hopefully Tripp's okay. Oh, man.
What was that?
That is always the scary part when time is called, when a pitcher's in the middle of his delivery. You never want to see someone stop, and hopefully Tripp didn't pull something right there. Again, you're going 100%, and then you try to shut it down in an explosive motion like that one, and he is now squatting, and he is in some pain, it appears.
That is a freak accident. Let's hope it's nothing serious.
Peter Moylan out, John Diebel. This is training staff. And you can see some action quickly brewing in the Aces bullpen as Tripp. Oh, man, that is a tough break. To get another look. Just starting that delivery and stopped because the home plate umpire, Tom West, granted Knight time. Maybe that start and stop tweaked something for him. He's still on top of the mound. Maybe he's going to attempt some warm-up pitches, and that is going to be the case. You can see he's very frustrated right now.
Yeah. So if he's going to keep throwing, then that would hopefully, fingers crossed, mean it's nothing ultra serious.
Absolutely, but again, too, he's got his year coming up in the American Association. Don't want to push it too hard.
It's the first thing I thought of, Max, I'll be honest. When I saw that, I was like, please don't let it be anything serious.
And he looks like he's okay, so he's going to take a walk back behind the mound. That first warm-up toss, at least mechanically, looked good. Maybe it was just a little bit of shock, too. You know, you're getting ready to toss a pitch, and again, you got to think about it from the mindset. When you're beginning that delivery, you're going 100%. And in baseball, it's such an explosive movement, pushing all of the weight on your backside forward, and then to just stop immediately. It's tough. 2-2 the count on Knight. The pitch is down and in ball 3-3-2.
Now he's got to step up and deliver after that pause, unfortunately. It's going to be tough.
And some action is ready in the Aces pen. 3-2 is popped up left side of the infield. Dale out. In is Burke. Who's going to get it? It's the shortstop, Dale, to make the catch. 2 away. And either way, you know Tripp wants to finish the inning, but 2, we mentioned it, it's important he provides length just because there's so much ambiguity with the pitching staff. So he's showing the team player side of his game as well, just knowing he needs to get through this inning if he can.
So here's Lou Albrecht, who came in place of Kai Kudo, who injured himself on the base paths. 23-year-old, just starting his minor league career. Only played just 18 games between rookie and A-ball. Washington State University player.
Cougar.
Cougs.
1-0. Chop to third. George on the long hop. Throws over. Inning over. Really good work from Jonathan Tripp. Faces the minimum. Sets down the order 1-2-3. Shares some words with Tom West, and he's continuing to argue. He's not happy about it, as West will chat with him back to the dugout. Tripp is really animated right now. John Diebel now out, trying to get tripped back to the dugout, keeping him in this game, especially after last weekend. Well, we head to the top half, make it the bottom half of the 5th inning. It's 4-3 Adelaide.
Blinds Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out.
Australia.
A look at who's due up for the Aces. A good part of the lineup if you're an Aces fan. 2, 3, and 4. Dale, Glendinning, and Bird, of course. Melbourne trailing 4-3 as we begin the bottom half of the 5th inning. Lachlan Wells out for his 5th frame of work, and it's been a tale of 2 stories for the Adelaide Southpaw tonight. Gave up 2 runs in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd. Aside from that, has been untouchable so far.
Another shout out to you folks watching at Sporty's Bar over in Adelaide. Probably enjoying the game right now with the Giants in the lead, but who knows?
Maybe there's some Aces fans over there in disguise.
I don't know. You go over there for the footy, Max. They're very good fans over there. Let me put it that way.
Passionate? Who's the footy team?
Adelaide and Port Adelaide. There are 2 of them. And
oh, very nice.
They, when they play each other, it's always one of the best games of the year. They call it the showdown.
Okay.
Port Adelaide against Adelaide, and it is almost always a really intense game.
Well, here's Jared Dale to lead things off. 1-0 the count. Chase Jesse begins to warm up for the Aces in the bullpen. Well set. 1-0. County was up at 1-1. Got an announced attendance today. Want to take a guess? Want to take a stab?
No, I don't.
We got 1,176 here at the ballpark tonight. So a good start to the weekend. Of course, expecting a large crowd tomorrow night. We got fireworks post-game. Make sure to get out to the ballpark. Pops foul straight back, 1-2.
See, if I guessed under, then
right.
Justin Huber would have been angry with me for underestimating. If I guessed over and it was under, then I'd kind of look, yeah. So it was kind of a no-win situation for me.
Yeah, catch 22, right?
Yeah, exactly.
One of the most confusing books I had to read in school. 1-2's outside. Got even up at 2-2. Dale doubled back to lead off the 3rd inning and came around to score on Bird's 2-bagger as well. That gave the Aces at the time a 3-2 lead. 2-2. Breaking ball, muscled into shallow left center. That one drops in. Another leadoff single for the Aces. That is now 3 consecutive innings with a leadoff knock and 4 consecutive frames where the leadoff hitter is reached. Good piece of hitting from Jared. Another multi-hit night for the Aces shortstop.
Batting average continuing to skyrocket.
Here's Robbie Glendinning. Looking to put the ball in play. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. First pitch. 0-1.
Yeah, Wells clearly has had Robbie's number first 2 at-bats.
All right, I'll let you get this one. Guess this one.
All right.
Jared Dale entered the night hitting at a 364 clip.
Yep.
Goes 2 for 3 so far. What's his batting average at?
378.
Oh, you said 370 and I got excited.
Oh.
373.
Ah.
Upstairs 1-1. He's now past Aaron Whitefield, so Dale now is the qualified league leader. Of course, for the Adelaide fans out there, Jared Carr did enter with a 421 batting average, but he hasn't particularly qualified yet, having only played 15 games. Check to first, Dale back in. Haven't seen any action in terms of stolen bases on the Aces side or on the Adelaide side tonight.
Completely different from the Sydney series,
right?
Where they were running on every play.
That added to the chaos of that series.
Every pitch.
It was incredible. Another move in right on cue. There goes Dale, and he's caught in a rundown. And the throw is a little bit high. Dale now going to head back as he continues to play pickle here, and he'll be cut down. Leadoff single erased. So Dale's picked off, caught for the third time this season. And good move from Wells.
Yeah.
Little sidearm sling, and a lot of times if you're a base runner at first base and there's a lefty on the mound, you commit to running on first movement, just knowing that if you try to wait or try and wait as long as you can, you have the left-hander on the mound right in front of you, you're not going to get a good jump, so you have to commit early, and that's what Dale did right there, and unfortunately chose the wrong delivery to do it on. Glendenning swings and misses, 1-2. Wells has just 2 strikeouts tonight, and both of them have been against Glendenning. Pitch. Up and away. Count evens up at 2-2.
Just takes the wind out of the sails a little bit when you lead off hit and then you get caught stealing or caught in a rundown like that.
Especially with nobody out as well. Middle of the order up. You can understand Jared trying to force some action, but 2-2's upstairs, 3-2. Greg Bird on deck. Probably can reach. Aces have yet to draw a walk tonight against Wells. Payoff. Swing and a miss. Another fastball up and out of the zone, and Glendenning is down on strikes for the third time tonight.
Yeah, just can't throw. He just can't figure him out.
That fastball with some ride at the top of the zone that he just can't catch up to tonight. So 2 away now for Greg Bird. Bird's reached twice, was hit by a pitch in the second, and doubled in a run in the third, as we mentioned earlier. First one from Wells. Pinpointed on the outer edge, 0-1.
Yeah, that's a really tough pitch there.
Not much you can do with that one, I'll tell you that. Especially as a left-handed hitter against the southpaw. 0-1. Almost found the opposite corner instead, a little bit inside. Count evens up.
Yeah, I think because he's been given the outside corner tonight, you're not going to get that inside corner call against the left-handed batter.
It really has been that outside corner to lefties that's been getting a lot of the calls. 1-1. Went out to get that one, 1-2.
Same area.
Well, Greg hasn't launched one out since round 4 versus Perth. He's been so productive in between, but he's due for a long ball. 1-2. Flown out to left. Medium depth as Nick Ward will range in. Makes the catch, and the inning is over. Despite the leadoff single, Lachlan Wells faces the minimum. Sets down the Aces 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the 6th on its way. Adelaide clinging on to a 4-3 lead.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Chase Jesse on the mound for the Aces. We'll tell you about him in a minute. But first, did you notice that car on display in the ballpark?
You know, I noticed it a couple days ago, actually.
It's a new Cherry Tiggo 4 Pro, $23,990 drive-away price. The other thing, Max, and I know you're afraid of driving on the right side of the road like us, but if you scan the QR code on that car, there is a special offer. That's courtesy of South Morang Motors, southmorangmotorgroup.com.au. So you may not want to do it because you probably wouldn't drive that car because you would be afraid to go out on the other side of the road. But if you are at the park or you come to the park, scan that QR code on that new Cherry, and there will be a special offer. $23,990 drive away, South Morang Motors.
Can I bring that car back to America?
You can.
Can I drive it? I don't think so.
I think you would have to, and it happens over here, you'd have to convert it. You can actually get it converted to the left-hand drive in America.
I would love to see how that's done. Too many times this year where I've gotten into someone's car who's driving me to the train station or whatever.
And gotten in the other side?
And I go into the other side. It's ridiculous.
I must say, even after 3 or 4 years, I was still doing that. Yeah. And even once a year or twice a year, I'll do it.
It's tricky, but when I go back to America in a month plus or so, I'll be going into the wrong side there, too. It's just how it's going to work. Well, Chase Jesse into the game, as you mentioned, Ed, and Chase has looked really good over his last 2 outings. Again, gave up a handful of runs against Sydney on Sunday, but was getting a ton of swing and miss and can rush that fastball up there to 94-95 from the left side. 9-1-2, Puaka Grego to lead things off. First pitch. Blew a fastball by him, 0-1. Command has been a struggle at times for Jesse, 6 walks and 5 1/3, but he can get that fastball grooving. It's lights out. Again, the day now done for Jonathan Tripp. 5 innings, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, but looked much better than the line will tell you. 0-1. Inside, 1-1.
Now, what don't we want here, Max? A leadoff walk. Exactly.
And we didn't script that one, by the way.
No, we didn't.
Puaka Grego, 0 for 2, reached on an E2 back in the 4th. Good fastball sizzles in 1-2. Nick Ward, the top of the order on deck here for Adelaide. 1-2. Found off the mid of Edwards. Count still holds. Keeping you updated with the scores around the league here in the ABL. Look at that. Scoreless in the top of the 5th.
Wow.
Around the grounds, I like that. They're already in the top of the 5th, and we're in the top of the 6th, and they started an hour later than us. And that's a scoreless game pace for you. Versus we've gotten, around 16 hits in this one? There's another, as that one's just past George. And in the left for a leadoff knock. A single for Puaka Grego. We've seen a lot of leadoff base runners here on both sides of the ball. Again, if you're just tuning in, with the win, Adelaide clinches a playoff spot. The Aces, meanwhile, 1 game back of Perth for 3rd and tied with Canberra for 4th, but the Cavalry do have the tiebreaker over them, so the Aces need to outplay both of those teams or either one of those teams by 1 game. So in that Brisbane-Canberra game we just updated you on, if you're an Aces fan, you really would like Brisbane to win. Here's Nick Ward. First pitch is just outside, 1-0.
Yes, I should have worn my Brisbane Bandits hat.
You have one?
No, I don't.
Oh, good. I was going to say. I don't think Justin Huber would like to hear that. Strike on the inside corner. Count evens up at 1-1.
See that wind just getting a little bit stronger now. Flags flying all over the place. And a bit of dust up around home plate.
Tends to get windier as the night goes on. 1-1. 1-2.
Yeah, you can just see the netting around here. The safety netting is really starting to move a bit. So the wind certainly increasing as the temperature decreases. Check the temp, 19 at the moment.
Just a little chilly.
Mm.
Jesse ready. 1-2. Check swing. Somehow got a piece of that one. Playing some cricket. Cat holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just got a piece. Well, talking about Adelaide, and if they can win tonight again, clinching a playoff spot would be their 5th consecutive berth. And, of course, they're looking for their 3rd consecutive Claxton Shield. 1-2. Grounded softly to second, could be 2. McCullough to Dale, over to Bird, 4-6-3, just what they needed. Double play.
Pitcher's best friend. Double play, of course, brought to you by Master Dry Cleaners. We get a look at it again. Slow roller, McCullough. Quick flip. Dale, easy. Good stretch from Bird. No problem at all.
So wipes away the leadoff single, and that brings up Liam Spence here, who drove in the go-ahead run for Adelaide back in the 4th with a sacrifice fly to center. Jesse ready. First pitch. Fastball buzzes in upstairs, 1-0. I mean, Chris Adamson has just been phenomenal for this Adelaide franchise. Of course, signed a contract extension a couple years ago, signed through to manage the team through the 26-27 season. Really building a dynasty in Adelaide as that one misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Certainly has.
And also just part of Australian baseball in general on the national team. Coaching staff as well for Team Australia. First year with the Giants as the manager was 17-18, but of course was an assistant the previous 2 seasons before that. 2-0 misses inside. 3-0 the count. Just one of those guys now becoming synonymous with the team that he manages. And there's a lot of those in this league. Of course, John Diebel on the other side for the Aces. 3-0 from Jesse. Strike called, top of the zone. 3-1. The thing about Adamson, too, though, is he's so young. That's the most impressive part. I mean, theoretically, he could be here forever. Here is in Adelaide. 3-1. Strike called, top of the zone. 3-2. Well, you heard Tony say it, free popcorn on the line, and also a scoreless inning here for Jesse. 3-2. Down straight back. Count holds full. Aces in the bottom of the 6th will send up 5, 6, and 7. That's George, McCullough, and more. So again, as of now, 1 swing away from tying this thing up with 12 outs to work with in this game. And they showed plenty of late life last weekend versus Sydney. Jesse ready. Here's his payoff. Lined out to center. Whitefield cutting across. It's down. Is he able to cut it off? Yes. Wide turn for Spence. He's going to dig for 2. The throw is wide. A double for the Adelaide shortstop. And a 2-out extra base hit.
Yeah, good piece of hitting again from Spence.
Really good at-bat, too. Just taking a look at that swing. Charged it up, very similar to the sac fly to center he had earlier.
Yep.
This time just a little bit more into the gap. And a good job from Whitefield to cut it off, but Spence runs well.
He does, and Whitey was obviously off balance because he had gone back to grab it, so it would have been a really amazing throw if he were able to nail him.
So here's Jared Carr. First pitch. Strike called, poured it in quickly, 0-1. Carr lofted in a single in the shallow center back in the 4th inning, broke his bat. A 1. Pounded to short. Dale slides. It's off him. Everybody's safe. Spence will hold at 3rd, and that's an infield single for Carr. 1st and 3rd, 2 away.
Tricky one, too, because you can see Spence having to get out of the way. Could have blocked Dale's vision slightly. Would have been a tough play anyway.
Carr runs really well, so he probably had no play.
Yep.
Shaded up the middle a little bit, too. So here's Rickson Wingrove here. Good matchup for Jesse with the lefty at the plate, but you got to be careful with Wingrove.
He's up in a similar situation a couple innings ago. Tripp managed to get him to pop up. That would be an ideal scenario now for the Aces.
First pitch misses up and in, 1-0. Game number 33 for the Giants' first baseman. 4 homers, 16 runs batted in. Leads the team with 7 doubles. 1-0.
Was that ruled an error on Dale? I'm just looking at my scorebook. I had that as a hit.
I would have it as a hit 10 times
that's
out of 10.
very
too.
tough.
It does look like it was ruled an error. Here's the reason, too. 1, he had to slide. 2, he does pick it up cleanly. Carr's safe. I mean, there's no chance. That's a tough one for him. Runner goes, now stumbles and holds back. Strike called, 2-1.
Scores in a grumpy mood tonight, Max. I don't know. Maybe they didn't get their pregame meal or something.
I'm sure the Aces will try and get those changed, or at least a couple of them. Yes, I think that was definitely a single for Carr, and I'm sure Carr would like that to be a single.
Well, it's a single in my book. Not that that matters.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. No one was covering second, so they'll just give Carr second base. That's his 10th. 2-2 the count with 2 down. 2 runners in scoring position.
Big pitch coming up here. Huge. Wingrove gets a hit. 2 runs more than likely score. Get him out. You're out of the inning.
Carr at second. Spence at third. Two. Down and away. Good stop from Edwards. 3-2. Another left-handed hitter and McArdle on deck. So after 2 quick outs, this has turned into a long inning here for Jesse, the first reliever used tonight by John Diebel. This will be pitch number 24 for the Californian left-hander. Three-two. Up and in, ball 4. Base is loaded for Adelaide, all with 2 outs after a single and a 4-6-3 double play. It's gone double, single, walk, and here's Jordan McArdle. Mitch Edwards out to the mound to have a quick conversation with Jesse.
So really, you're sort of in the same scenario in a way, and you actually have the benefit of a force if McArdle hits it on the ground.
Absolutely, and again, want to be careful with Wingrove. But now nowhere to put McArdle. He's flown out twice and sandwiched in between singled, but was stranded. First pitch. Down low, 1-0. That was the first walk by Aces pitching tonight, by the way. They'd been doing a really good job of filling up the zone against a Adelaide offense who draws ball 4 more than anyone in this league.
First walk of the night, period.
Absolutely, you're right. A lot of action offensively, a lot of early swings. There's an early swing and a foul straight back, 1-1.
McArdle's helmet flew off with that swing.
McArdle is patient himself, currently tied for the league lead in the ABL with 20 free passes drawn this year, tied with Brendan McNair of Brisbane. One. Inside, scoots him away, 2-1.
Like you said, Max, no place to put him.
Wingrove at first, Carr at second, Spence at third. This will be the 28th pitch of the inning here for Jesse. 2-1. 2-2.
Good delivery.
Needed that one, and now he's a strike away from getting out of trouble. He's gotten to 2 strikes here, but 2 away a couple of times already in this inning, looking to finish it right here. Has to be careful. All 3 runners, of course, with 2 away, go on contact here. Two. Fouled away. McArdle stays alive.
Another good piece of hitting from a veteran ABL player.
Yeah,
Eighth season for McArdle.
And I'm sure they correlate, but not only do they draw a lot of walks, but they really spoil a ton of pitches, too. There have been so many lengthy at-bats against Tripp and now Jesse tonight. Runners take their leads. As Ed mentioned, a force at all bags here. 2-2. Fouled away, and another just really splendid plate appearance from a Giants hitter here. Jesse now over 30 pitches here in this inning. Two. Strike 3 called. He got him looking. Jesse fired up as he escapes a bases loaded, nobody out jam. Adelaide strands 3. Maybe there's some momentum for Melbourne. Take a look at this reaction from Chase Jesse as he freezes McArdle with a fastball seared across the outside corner. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Darryl George to lead things off when we come back.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
The lights officially in play here in Melbourne. As you can see, some cloud coverage in that shot right there, but it is still beautiful tonight here in the greater Melbourne area. And we've had a tight ball game all evening long. Adelaide leads 4-3. Some Aces fans looking for something to cheer about for the first time since really the 3rd inning. The Aces have been held scoreless since, and Lachlan Wells, after a tough 2nd and 3rd, has really settled in here, Ed.
He is, as we would have expected him to do, as one of the elite pitchers in the ABL.
He has been so good this year. Start number 10. Just gets so much swing and miss. I mean, it's been incredible. His brother Alex with Sydney has been having a fantastic year. George swings at the first pitch, shoots it out to right. Night is over. I don't think he could find it.
No.
Out of play.
There's a little action down in the Aces bullpen, Max. So I'll get the binoculars out and have a look.
Yeah, Jesse's back there, I can see. Maybe that's Billy Parsons, I think. It is Billy Parsons,
yeah,
as you can see on the screen now.
Yep.
So go from righty to lefty to righty again. Here's the 0-1. Cracked out to right. Knight still struggling to find it, and then makes the catch. One away.
Yeah, that wind's still playing a little havoc out there in right field.
It's that time of night, too, where the colors start to blend.
Yep.
So one away, and that brings up Morgan McCullough. For Wells so far this year, in his 9 starts, he's gone through 6 innings 3 separate times. This will be the first outing since the 1st of January against Brisbane. Make that the 9th of January, excuse me. 1st of January would have been New Year's. McCullough shoots this out to left center field with some slice. It's down for a base hit.
Bang.
Another multi-hit game for him. 6-game hitting streak was already picked up back in the 3rd inning. He is now 10 for his last 18. He has just been seeing the ball like a beach ball so far since he's come to Australia.
Yeah, like flying.
He's got good speed over there, but remember, Wells picked off Dale earlier with the lefty on the mound.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, but tying run at first base with speed here for the DH tonight and Logan Moore. Moore single to left back in the 4th. Really good piece of hitting for him. Takes a strike, 0-1. Game number 16 for Logan, and got off to a quick start in Canberra. That was back in round 6, where he played a couple of games to make his Aces debut. It's been an up and down couple weeks for him. 0-1. Big swing and a miss, 0-2, but so much veteran experience. Reached AAA with the Phillies organization. Talking about the Phillies players in Adelaide all night long.
Phillies theme night.
Yeah. Logan reached AAA. His father pitched in the big leagues. Just about 10 innings for the Phillies. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him for strike 3. There's that elevated fastball, and that's the 4th strikeout for Wells tonight, and the first not against Robbie Glendinning. 89-mile-an-hour heaters you can see on your screen.
In the 6th inning, that's good.
Especially with Wells on the mound, who had been striking out just about 11.5 per 9 entering tonight. Here's Mitch Edwards, batting from the right side. Takes outside 1-0. Well, if Mitch can find a gap, McCullough will go on contact, and he is blazing speed over at first base. Mitch is 1 for 2, singled in a run back in the 2nd that tied the game at that point. Check to first, McCullough back in. Morgan, a really sharp base runner over there, 5 of 6 in stolen base attempts through 13 games and change this year. A lot of room in the gap in left center. Carr shaded towards the gap in right. Grounded softly through a vacant right side into right for a knock. McCullough will get to second. Another single for Mitch Edwards. First and second here with 2 down for Chris Burke.
That's 10 hits now for the Aces against Wells.
Next off the nominations, Chris Burke.
That's an impressive feat. The season high against Wells this year was 7. That was Canberra back 2 rounds ago.
Got a visit now from Josh Tolles. That's another familiar face. Pitched for the Aces. Won a couple of titles here with the Aces. Had one of the best curveballs you'll ever see, Max.
Familiar stomping grounds on that mound over there for him, right?
He's another Phillies guy as well, Josh Tolles.
I'm sure there's a lot of Phillies fans in Adelaide. Same colors. Look at that. Well, I'll tell you what. How about this? This is the first time in Lachlan Wells' ABL career he has allowed 10 hits.
Wow.
Shows how dominant he has been. And it's been a good night for the Aces.
Yeah.
Offensively speaking. And just for context, this is season number 6 for Wells. He's appeared in 33 games, so that's a good sample size. Here's Chris Burke. Takes one down low, 1-0. Chris is 1 for 2, and he has come up in the big moment all year long for the Aces. And here late in the final round of the season, looking to step up one more time, if not more. 1-0. Down low, 2-0. A couple of close takes, but he's in the driver's seat now.
Yeah, good eye.
Again, we mentioned it. McCullough with a really good speed at second will go. If the bat meets wood here, or if the ball meets wood. 2-0. Grounded, foul. 2-1.
Oh.
Just missed it.
The ball.
Jack Fox right there leading the way. You can see it. He said the game of inches right there.
That's that little game they play where they try to open the gate to the bullpen. If the ball heads out that way, that time it fooled him.
Got one last year, or earlier this year, against Perth in round 4.
We were more excited about that than we should have been.
It was a beauty. That one was close. I'm sure those guys in the bullpen would love a base hit right here, right? 2-1. Well, that might be one. Lofted out to center. Carr over into the gap. Reaches out to make the catch to end the inning. Aces pick up a couple base hits, but aren't able to score. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left. As we head to the top of the 7th here in Melbourne, it's 4-3 Adelaide.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Billy Parsons coming into pitch. Business Network International is flourishing across Melbourne's west and Geelong. Local businesses, including the Aces, join B&I for professional development, networking opportunities, and to increase business prospects. Find your local B&I chapter to tap a wealth of resources and join a winning team.
Just got to look at Billy Parsons, the new pitcher warming up for the Aces in relief of Chase Jesse, who escaped a bases-loaded jam unscathed. For Parsons, it's been a solid year. This will be his 14th outing, a 4.15 ERA. Opponents are just hitting .208 against him. It's been the free pass. 14 walks issued in those 13 innings of work, but when he's filling up the zone, it's good. And here he is in still a high-leverage spot. Aces trailing by 1. Look at that! The glizzy.
Hot dog hat.
I need to get myself one of those. She's sitting there so casually with it, too. I can actually see it from our booth now at the first base side. It's a good one right there. I saw today that, I forget what company it was. It might have been Lids or something. They released a clear hat. Did you see the clear hat today? It is a transparent hat, so you can see the matted down hair. I don't know really if it's considered stylish or not.
Wow.
It's kind of cool, though. Good day for a jumper, for a hoodie. It's a little bit of a chilly one as temperatures have dropped below 20 degrees here. There's the mullet. You don't need a clear hat for that one. You don't need a hat in general.
Look at that.
Update over in Brisbane, still scoreless, and they're in the bottom of the 6th. Again, Aces fans hoping Brisbane can spoil Canberra. Aces tied with the Cavalry for the final playoff spot. Diego Gonzalez leads things off against Billy Parsons as that pitch is found straight back for strike 1.
Yeah, it's a tense game. Especially important for the Aces.
Oh,
there.
look at that.
See, it's cool. With the blankets going.
It's a good call. It's like you're watching in the living room. 0-1. Breaking ball inside. 1-1. It'll be Gonzalez, Knight, and Alberact here against Billy Parsons. 1-1. Breaking ball darts in at the knees. 1-2. Gonzalez didn't like it. And it looks like Brisbane has just taken a 1-0 lead just like that. All right.
There we go.
That is huge for the Aces. Again, that one getting late, too, in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-2. Flown out to left center field. Not hit well. Burke charging in, so is Whitefield. It's Whitefield to make the catch. 1 away. I'm looking at the box score. How about this to score the only run of the night for Brisbane? I'm going to read it to you.
All right.
Hyun-Chan lines into double play. Pitcher Jack Mahoney to second baseman Jason Matthews to shortstop George Khalil to first baseman Matt Halbach. Robson scores. So
wow,
you're sitting there forever.
Yeah.
And then there's a line drive back to the pitcher that results in a runner being doubled off. Robson had to tag up if it's lined to do double play. Maybe it's tricky to read through the box score. Maybe it was lined, knocked off of Mahoney, then hit the ground, and then it was a traditional double play. Knight sends this one out to fairly deep center. Whitefield back at the track, 2 away. So technically maybe that was just a 1 to 6 to 3 double play. But I mean, if it's technically lined and caught, but the ball had to have dropped if they had to finish the double play at first. So I don't know. We'll have to watch the replay back on that one. Either way, 1-0 Brisbane. The Aces could win tonight and Brisbane could beat Canberra. The Aces would have possession of that 4th and final playoff spot. Fastball sails upstairs to Albrecht, 1-0. Good start for Parsons, 2 up, 2 down for him in quick fashion. You can see 93 on that heater. Parsons, one of the hardest throwers in the Aces pen. 1-0. Breaking ball, a tight one, bites the outside corner.
Nice.
1-1.
Yeah, how nice would the 3 up, 3 down inning be? Had one in the 5th. That's about it.
Next pitch, upstairs, 2-1. Strike called, pumped in, 2-2. Parsons looking sharp today. Two. Looped to Bird over his head and down for a base hit. Another 2-out knock for Adelaide. They have been so productive with 2 away. First hit for Albrecht after coming in for Kaikuta, who left in the 4th inning. Get another look. A good pitch from Parsons. Little chip shot.
Just dropped in there.
Got it onto the green. Here's Puaka Grego. He's 1 for 3. He's been all over the base paths tonight, though. Reached on an E2 as well. That one's taken upstairs, 1-0. 1-0. Inside, hitters count 2-0. Top of the order on deck here for Adelaide. Again, game 1 of 4 here in the final regular season series of the year. That one's outside, 3-0.
Yeah, 3 games or 4 games that'll decide the Aces' fate in terms of postseason play. Still a lot to play out.
Absolutely. 2 rounds in the ABL playoffs. 3-0. He was taken all the way, and it's upstairs ball 4. After 2 quick outs, first and second for the top of the order and Nick Ward. It's the second walk allowed tonight from Aces pitching.
Just extraordinary the number of 2-out rallies we've seen against the Aces last week and tonight.
Even on their side of the ball, I think it was they went 7 for 15 last Friday night with 2 outs against Sydney.
Yeah, that's right.
First pitch to Ward. In there for a strike, 0-1. Ward is 2 for 4 today. Reached on the E9, 2 RBI singles, and then grounded into a 4-6-3 double play ball in the 6th. A 1. Down and in, 1-1. Aces will send the top of their lineup up to the plate in the 7th. Hoping that they're still trailing by 1. Again, just a 1-run game here. Aces well into this one. Down and away, 2-1. And Parsons really struggling with his command now. Falls behind another Adelaide hitter. Now approaching 20 pitches in the inning. 2-1. Good spot, 2-2. Climbs back in.
Got that outside corner call that's been there all night from Tom West.
Liam Spence on deck. Deuce is running wild. 2 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. He got him. Good work from Billy Parsons as he puts a 0 on the board here in the top half of the 7th inning. We head to the bottom half of the frame. It's time to stretch here in Melbourne. It's 4-3 Adelaide.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Sweet Caroline echoing throughout the ballpark as we get set for the bottom half of the 7th inning. Top third of the order due up for the Aces, as you can see on your screen. And Lachlan Wells is out of the game. 6 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. 4 strikeouts, no walks. Still a quality start for the Adelaide starter. And he helps Adelaide hold on to the lead through the first 2/3 of this game. Got a new right-hander to the mound. That's Estebenson Jimenez, another Philadelphia Phillies product.
Yes, indeed. Played high A ball this past season. He was voted as having the best changeup in the Florida State League in 2023, but his fastball also up in the 95 region. So let's keep an eye on the fastball and the changeup.
And those two probably play really well off of each other.
Yep.
As you take a look at Steve Kent warming up in the bullpen for the Aces. Got another update here. Brisbane still leading Canberra 1-0. Aces need the Bandits to hold on to that lead right there to get some help in the playoff race. Well, it's been a really good year for Jimenez here in the ABL. 13 outings, 2 saves, a 3.13 ERA. Opponents hitting a meager 178 against him, a whip below 1 as well at that. How about this, Ed? 38 strikeouts in 23 innings. That is ridiculous. So, one of the best relievers in the ABL this season, trying to hold on to a 1-run lead for Adelaide as Whitefield takes upstairs 1-0. And he's just 22 years old out of San Felipe in Venezuela.
Obviously, a lot of good players over the years coming out of Venezuela as Whitefield sends that one sizzling foul.
Count even at 1-1. Whitefield 0 for 3 today. And again, you know, with his speed, would be huge representing the tying run. Takes a strike, a good heater to make it 1-2. .94-mile-an-hour fastball, as you can see. Here's the 1-2. Just got a piece, stays alive. Jimenez from the line, the 1-2. Oh, good pitch, taken down low, 2-2.
Where did that come from? Wow.
Had Whitefield dancing as it darted to the ground. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase. Not too many times you see Whitefield go that far out of the zone. A nasty offering from Jimenez. 1 up, 1 down.
Yeah, that's a tricky one as we see Steve Kent, the lefty, warming up.
It looks like you mentioned the changeup in its prowess, but it looks like some glove side run on that breaking ball, which has been really good too. Here's Dale. Fouls it away, 0-1. Again, with some right-handers up, you're probably not going to see the changeup as much. That's generally an offering to left-handed hitters, but we'll see. Whitefield probably sharing his thoughts with Greg Bird. As you can see him describing the break on that pitch. Down low. Count if it's up at 1-1. Not only has Jimenez struck out 38 in 23 innings, he's walked just 4. I mean, he's done everything. 1-2. Filling up the zone. He's gone as much as 3 innings in a game this year. That was once against Canberra, but for the most part averaging about an inning or 2 per game. So at least we'll get the 7th, maybe the 8th. 1-2, got him to chase. That was probably the changeup right there. Another good one. 2 up, 2 down for Jimenez. Here's Robbie Glendinning. Well, Robbie's had a tough night so far, looking to erase that right here. Struck out 3 times, all swinging, all against tonight's starter for Adelaide, Lachlan Wells, who's in line for the win. First pitch on the outside corner with the fastball, 0-1. It's an easy 94-95 too, Ed. Grooves out of the hands. Doesn't look like a high-effort pitch. 0-1. Inside. Off-speed offering. Count evens up. Game number 32 for Robbie. 1-1. Big swing and a miss. Another good fastball, 1-2. Talk about a future high leverage arm potentially for the Phillies. 1-2. Breaking ball, got him swinging. What a statement made from Estebenzen Jimenez. Strikes out the side in order and in dominant fashion. We head to the top of the 8th. Adelaide leads 4-3 here in Game 1 of Round 10.
Omnigraphics, your leaders in super wide format printing across Australia. With 2 full-scale production facilities in Queensland and Victoria, our centres are equipped to handle the most ambitious printing projects, backed by a dedicated team of over 70 full-time staff. We specialise in a wide range of print formats, from billboards and banners to retail and events. We deliver impactful solutions that stand out in any environment. Our commitment to excellence includes continuous investment in cutting-edge technology, ensuring precision, speed, and reliability. This allows us to tackle even the most complex printing requirements with ease. Dream, design, deliver. Partner with Omnigraphics for your next printing project.
Park, a look at Greg Bird, who's the man representing our play of the game today, brought to you by Aces Sporting Club. Let's take a look back all the way in the 3rd inning. Aces in Adelaide tied it to a piece, and Bird sends a hard liner into the gap in right center field, and this brings around Jared Dale to score from second base to give the Aces a 3-2 lead. Greg Bird's on-base streak up to 10 games now. Picks up his league-leading 26th run batted in. The Aces looking to grab that league back. Again, your play of the game brought to you by Aces Sporting Club, a premium golf practice facility based in Altona, right here in Melbourne's western suburbs. They host birthdays, engagements, key milestones, and more. For more info, visit acessportingclub.com.au. Billy Parsons out for his 2nd inning of work, and he fires in a first-pitch strike to Liam Spence. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, wherever you may be. Adelaide, Melbourne, America, Venezuela, after that performance from Jimenez right there.
No kidding.
All around the globe, we appreciate you tuning in, no matter what time it is where you may be.
Maybe somebody from the Phillies watching that going,
I like that, right? I'm sure Jimenez getting ready to report to minor league spring training in just about a month in Clearwater, Florida. There's a strike. Parsons has looked strong so far, 1-2. Again, as we have discussed all night long, playoff implications as high as ever. Makes sense here in round 10. Adelaide with a win tonight clinches their 5th consecutive postseason appearance. 1-2. Inside 2-2. Meanwhile, the Aces tied with Canberra for the 4th and final playoff spot. Currently hoping that Brisbane can hold on to their 1-0 lead over Canberra. Aces have to outplay either Canberra or Perth or both by 1 game this weekend, meaning finish a game better in the 4 games. So if Canberra wins 2, the Aces need to win 3. If Perth wins 1, the Aces only need to win 2, and so forth. 3-2 is down low ball 4, leadoff walk. Spence will take first base. Sends up Jared Carr. Again, you get into the nitty-gritty with the tiebreakers and so forth as John Diebel's quickly out to the mound, and he's going to go to Steve Kent here after seeing the leadoff walk. Not going to waste any time, again, in a 1-run game. So we're going to step aside. We'll keep discussing the playoff implications when we return. But insurance on first base for Adelaide. Steve Kent looking to strand it when we come back.
Blinds Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out. Australia.
Pitches for the Aces, Steve Kent.
There's Steve Kent back in a relief role after the start in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Saturday night versus Sydney. Kent looking to get out of a minor jam here. Liam Spence at first base, but the teeth of the order up here for the Giants, and Kent has been really good this year in multiple roles for the Aces. And you know, we thought maybe Kent would be a candidate to start a game in this series, again obviously with Sean Moramondo not getting to pitch or not able to pitch for the rest of the regular season with the Aces. But it looks like, as you mentioned it, Ed, going all in right here, 1-run game, and they need to keep this close with 6 outs to work with offensively.
I assume that's what they're doing. We look at probably Joey Steele tomorrow. Then I was thinking Kent might have been a candidate for Saturday. Maybe that becomes Jack Fox now. And then Sunday you'll know what you need, right? It'll be all, you'll know the scenario.
That's a good point.
You might be out of it. You might be in it. You might need a win. You might not need a win. So that's probably front-loading it this way probably makes sense. No point saving someone for Sunday, right, if you're not going to be in it.
Well, it's important to note, too, is you have the murderer's row of lefties coming up in Carr, Wingrove, and McArdle.
Yep.
3 consecutive left-handed hitters for the next 5 lefties as well. So Diebel trying to play the advantage card here, too. Here's Carr, first pitch. Taken down low, 1-0.
Yeah, that's another good point you make. Carr's a hot hitter. Wingrove, McArdle, experienced hitters.
For Kent, a 2.29 ERA entering play. 1-0. Lofted to center. Whitefield back as it's got some carry, but he makes the catch very easily. 1 away. Spence back to first.
I was just going to say, as long as Kent doesn't get in any sort of conversations with the Adelaide dugout, we should be all right. The last time he was on the mound was when that all started. Not that it was his doing, but it all sort of kicked off at that point.
Absolutely. Again, a crazy one on Saturday.
Yeah, I had a lot of people ask me what it was like calling because they heard your call and me chipping in occasionally on that. But I sort of said, you don't like to see it, but it was kind of exciting. It was different. It was unique.
There's Jack Fox. Again, up. Not particularly warming up.
Let's check that form on the football. Not bad, actually.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
I think that's Jonathan Tripp's football. 1-0. Topspin foul.
The
Australians don't grow up throwing footballs, and you're not throwing that many anyway, unless you're a cricket player, baseball player, footy, that's normally your foot. So around the office, a lot of people are like, hey, teach me how to throw an American football. So my dad being a football coach and actually coaching quarterbacks,
there you go.
I'm kind of able to give them a few tips about how you throw an American football.
I'm American, and I'm terrible at it. It's hard. My wrist always is so sore afterwards, too. Ugh. 1-1. Buried a breaking ball, heading for second is Spence. The throw from Edwards on a hop. They got him. A huge out for the second out of the frame. Mitch Edwards showing off some athleticism, down to his knees to block, and then throws a one-hop strike to Dale at second.
What a throw. Let's watch this again. It's in the dirt. Has to block it, then goes, oh, I better throw him out.
Got it out quickly.
Wow.
Prioritized getting it out quickly instead of getting it there, and used the turf to his advantage. A close one. A lot of times, again, Spence has good speed over there at first base, but a lot of times you don't see guys run when it drops right in front of the catcher. Again, Mitch didn't even have to move a step to pick it up.
Yeah, you're right.
Counts even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And that's a big out run, right? That was a key run.
Absolutely. Again, keeps it a 1-run game.
Yeah.
Kent winds the 2-2. Popped foul. Count holds. No action in the Adelaide bullpen, so Estebenz and Jimenez more than likely is coming out for the 8th, and the Aces will have their hands wrapped.
You think? After 3 straight strikeouts?
Yeah, in a quick fashion, too. His pitch count's in fine shape. I mean, hey, at this rate, if I'm Chris Adamson, just ride him out for the rest of the game. Clinch with a win today. Why not?
Yep.
2-2. Ooh, good spot. Just missed. 3-2.
Yeah, probably a little low.
Again, nobody on now. 3-2 the count here, but 2 away. Here's the wind to the payoff. Served out to left center field. Burke is over. It's well out of his reach, and this one will hop to the wall. Lingrove, with his team leading 8th double, stomps into second base with a 2-out knock.
All the more important now for that throw out of Spence at second.
Absolutely. And again, more 2-out production.
Yeah.
Get another look. Lefty on left. Good piece of hitting from Lingrove. It's a lot of strength just to slap that one in the track in left center.
He's a strong guy. He and McArdle both. A lot of power, a lot of strength.
And here is McArdle. 1 for 4 with a single that came in the third. Lingrove not the fleetest of foot, but will be going on contact with 2 down. First one. Down low, 1-0. Greg Bird will lead things off for the Aces in the 8th. Again, they're running out of time. But at this rate, just a couple of timely swings could do the trick if Kent can put a 0 on the board here in the 8th. 1-0. 2-0. An update from that Canberra-Brisbane game. Now 1-0. Bandits in the top of the 8th. So that's looking good for Melbourne. 2-0. Top spin down for a base hit, and it will roll to the corner. Wingrove scores for an extra run of insurance. Here comes Glendinnings's throw. Not in time as it scoots away, but George backs up. RBI double for Jordan McArdle. His 11th run batted into the season, and that is a huge extra run for Adelaide. They now lead by 2. All this with 2 outs.
Put that on tape. Just all of this with 2 outs. How many times have we said that over the last 2 series? Last series and then this game tonight. Unbelievable.
And just a pitch over the heart of the plate, and McArdle took care of it.
I'm going to go back and do some math on this, if I can, and see how many 2-out rallies there were.
Here's Diego Gonzalez now. 0 for 4. Down and in, 1-0. Well, the Ace is still into this game, but we'll have to get going quickly.
Well, you need 2 now to tie it, plus Got to find a way to get to Jimenez, assuming he comes out.
1-0. Grounded sharply. George bobbles, picks up, and will put it in his pocket. It's a tough play. I would give it a single myself, but we'll see what the
way it's been going
is.
tonight, that's error number 5. The way they've been scoring it.
Again, tough one gliding towards his left.
I agree. I'm being facetious, by the way.
It was hit sharply, too. Definitely one he would have liked to have made, I'll tell you that. Keeps the inning alive. Runners at the corners for Briley Knight now. It's a lengthy inning here for Kent. First pitch. Strike called, 0-1.
It's 14th hit tonight for Adelaide.
So they did rule it a hit.
And it would be 15 if that other one were ruled a hit.
Aces have 10. I mean,
yeah,
the Aces have showed up offensively. It's just more the timely hitting. That one misses upstairs, 1-1. And all 3 of their runs came in the second and third innings.
Yeah, it's funny. If you flash back to the second, third, we were saying, "Hey, they're hitting Wells hard, aren't they?" He shut them down after that.
1-1. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball. 1-2. Again, we're back on the airwaves tomorrow, 7 p.m. first pitch for Friday Night Baseball. Some fireworks postgame. If you can't make it to the ballpark, fireworks will be on the broadcast, of course, but they're much better in person. 1-2. Down and away. County gets up at 2-2. 7 p.m. start on Saturday, and then the regular season finale at 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon here at Melbourne Ballpark.
And who knows what that one will be.
Indeed. I mean, theoretically, both these teams could be clinched. 2-2. Outside, did he go? He did not. 3-2. Koki Suzuki at third on the call. Gonzalez at first will get a head start as we get another look at this check swing.
I don't think he did.
I don't either. I think, if anything, it was probably closer to be called a strike. Either way, 3-2 the count. Gonzalez at first, McArdle at third. Payoff. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Got him to end the inning. Elevated the fastball, but not before. Adelaide strikes another run on Jordan McArdle's RBI double. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Aces have some work to do, trailing 5-3 with 6 outs to go. A look at Estebanzin Jimenez, the hard-throwing right-hander from Venezuela, and he put on a clinic back at the bottom of the 7th inning, striking out the 3 top hitters in the Aces lineup in order quite quickly.
I speak a very little bit of Spanish. Muy rápido is what I would say about that.
Muy caliente.
Muy caliente as well. He's fast, he's hot, he's nasty with some of those pitches. So see what the Aces can do. He looked virtually unhittable in the 7th inning. Here he is in the 8th.
And it'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up in the Aces lineup. Bird, George, and McCullough. Again, now trailing by 2 on the McArdle RBI double. Aces flashed plenty of magic last weekend, especially early on in that series, then in Sunday's finale, and they could use some right here, I'll tell you that.
Well, I think he got the right guy leading off as you look at the Aces bullpen.
Kyle Morrison starting to get hot.
Got the right man leading off, Greg Bird, I think, with his experience, his eye.
He's 1 for 2 today. Bounce the first one back, 0-1. Lupin will blast away. Well, pinball. Might have hit all three right there. 0-1. Outside, 1-1. You can even see from our angle just the arm side run and some carry on that fastball. It's big league quality looking stuff, at least from the naked eye. This one's sent in the air to center. Carr has got plenty of time into the gap, one away. Burt just missed it a little bit underneath, and quick start to the 8th for Jimenez. 4-4 down.
At least we saw some contact.
Yes.
That's a start.
That is right. George 1 for 3 today as he digs in. There's John Diebel coaching third base for the Aces.
Very pensive, John Diebel.
George takes a strike, 0-1, 95.
Comes a guy walking up the stairs.
Oh, look at that.
Old school Phillies jersey and a Phillies hat.
He's got to like what he's seeing. I wonder if he knows.
Philly night at the ballpark.
1-1 now the count. It really is. We've seen that teams have partnerships with major league organizations and so forth, but I haven't seen a team with so many of one affiliate as that swung on and missed 1-2. And the big part is, of course, Chris Adamson, a coach for High A Jersey Shore, an affiliate of the Phillies organization. So I'm sure he's watching guys all year long, and I'm like, hey, you want to come to Australia with me?
Ever seen a koala before?
Yeah, I saw one the other day.
Yeah, there you go. Come on over.
Mesmerizing. Look at George just getting a piece of this one.
Yep, staying alive again like he did in that earlier at-bat.
One, two. Down and away, 2-2.
At least they're making Jimenez work a little bit in this inning.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase. 4th punch out of the night for Jimenez. He's fanned 4 of the first 5 he's faced.
So you figure, I haven't seen anybody up yet. I'm wondering if they go to Van Steensel as the closer, which he's done that for years, but who knows? Maybe Jimenez goes another one.
No action currently stirring in terms of throwing in the Giants bullpen.
A little stretching.
Here's McCullough. Takes down an inning. 1-0.
He's been a real treat, McCullough. Treat to watch at the plate and in the field.
And he lines this one sharply into right for a base hit. A 3-hit night for McCullough. Let's keep adding it up. He's now 11 for his last 19.
That is insane. Here's another look at that. Just a great stroke. Look at that.
And I was going to say it. He spent the majority of the regular season in AA in the Texas League and the Seattle Mariners organization with the Arkansas Travelers. AA these days is really the new AAA. That's where all of the highly touted pitching prospects are. So I'm sure he's seen electric, hard-throwing right-handers with really good secondary stuff like Jimenez a lot this year, and he jumped on the count early.
Yeah, it's a great point.
So Logan Moore, the tying run at the plate, takes strike 1. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Here's the pitch.
Cool.
Good spot. 0-2 quickly. Jimenez has allowed 1 home run so far this season, and that came last week against Brisbane. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Blew him away with a fastball. That's 5 punch-outs through 2 innings for Estebenz and Jimenez. He is breathing fire tonight here in a cool evening in Melbourne. We head to the top of the 9th. Adelaide leads 5-3.
Blinds Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now for 2 weeks only. All products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a sporting globe.
Look at the third relief pitcher, fourth in total used by the Aces tonight. Currently chatting with Mitch Edwards. That's right-hander Kyle Morrison into the game to get the top of the ninth and keep this a 2-run game for Melbourne, who will send up 8, 9, and 1 of their order in the bottom half of the frame. Max Tanzer here, joined alongside Ed Wyatt. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. We've got the first of 4 games between the Giants and the Aces this weekend. And Ed, the Giants 3 outs away from clinching their 5th consecutive postseason berth.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, obviously this is an Aces broadcast, but you're absolutely right. It's quite a benchmark. They've been, the team to emulate and admire and take your hat off to for the last few seasons. So, yeah, that would be a great accomplishment. And, coming into this game, there's questions about who is motivated to do what. Well, they got plenty of motivation to clinch a playoff spot, and you can see it in the way they've played tonight.
And what a relief it would be for the remainder of the weekend.
Yeah.
There is a shot, too, that they could clinch the number 1 seed, but they need a lot of help from Perth, who's going to play Sydney this weekend. They start their 4-game series tomorrow night. Again, they trail the Blue Sox by 2. And the first tiebreaker is head-to-head, but in their 8 games this year, Sydney and Adelaide split them at 4 games apiece. So then the tiebreaker goes to runs scored against another, and Adelaide outscored Sydney this season. First pitch from Morrison is taken for a strike, 0-1 as Louis Albrecht leads things off. So Adelaide's a true 2 games back of Sydney, meaning they have the tiebreaker. 0-1. Popped up foul, 0-2.
Still no throwing, Max. I do see Van Steensel up and about, stretching. You can tell from those sort of shorts that he wears and the high stockings. Very unique look. He's up, moving about, but not throwing.
One of the most experienced arms in this league. 0-2 is a breaking ball that backs up. 0-2.
Yeah, he's been a huge part of the Adelaide success.
Team Australia, too. He struck out Shohei Ohtani in the WBC.
That's right. Put that on your resume.
1-2.
On your LinkedIn.
I'd put it on my LinkedIn.
So
Are you kidding me? I struck out Shohei Ohtani. I got footage. How many Japanese little leaguers are out there who struck out Shohei Ohtani as a kid that don't have the footage? 1-2. Down and in. 2-2. Would you rather hit a home run off Shohei Ohtani as a pitcher or strike him out as a hitter?
Well, as a guy who didn't hit many home runs in Little League, I'd say hit a home run.
Upstairs, 3-2 the count. I kind of agree, especially since at that level, at least, we'll never reach it, unfortunately. No. You came close, but there's so many strikeouts in the game that it just feels like striking someone out isn't even that difficult anymore. But hitting a homer, I mean, it's legit. 3-2 is down low ball 4. A leadoff walk for the 2nd consecutive inning from this Aces pitching staff. After Tripp walked nobody, the Aces bullpen has each walked 1 apiece. That's their 4th of the night. Or 3rd, make that, excuse me. You know what? Let me correct again. That is their 4th. My eye's getting tied up. There's that line score. It's been a explosive one, to say the least, as Puka Grego takes outside 1-0.
You're just lucky that Puaka Grego and Boss Moana Rama aren't on the same team.
Boss Moana Roa.
Moana Roa, yeah. I didn't even say it right.
I've been mixing up with Alan D. San Miguel. I've been saying the day. It's tricky for me. I see their names in my head every single day when I'm looking through these record books.
Yes.
But you never hear anyone say them, and they're not around. Can't go ask them like we can with some of these guys. 2-0. This one line could be trouble. It's out of Glendinnings's reach, and it'll hop over the wall. That short wall for a ground rule double.
That's probably a break, to be honest.
I would agree. So second and third, nobody out, and this is a good spot for Adelaide to really put this one out of reach for Melbourne.
He's having a nice night for Grego.
Fourth time he's reached. Second hit. Also reached on a E2 and a walk. Does he get another look? Just sneaks it over that, 5.5, 6 foot wall?
I don't even know if it's that high.
Here's Nick Ward. Aces will draw their infield in here. Ward has had a busy night as well. 2 RBI singles to his ledger today. First pitch. Outside, 1-0.
That is the 15th hit of the night. Now.
There's a strike, top of the zone. Count evens up at 1-1. The most hits the Aces have allowed in a game this year, 17. That was back in round 4 versus Perth.
Yeah, Perth.
Popped up into shallow center. Whitefield on his horse. Dale back with the infield in. It's going to be Whitefield to make the catch. Albrecht wasn't tagging from third, so there's an out. 1 away.
Whitefield absolutely flying in the last minute. Jared Dale ducks out of the way. He and Burke and Whitey all converging. You can see the three of them coming together from different areas. And watch the last minute. Woo! Dale gets out of the way.
It's a good play from Jared right there.
Sure is.
It's always a scary moment, too, when you're all concentrating on the baseball up in the sky. And those are 3 big men running in the same direction. Here's Liam Spence, infield still in. Pitch is poured in for a strike, 0-1.
Well, Berkey's not that big.
He's got that speed.
I know what you mean. 3 professional athletes running full steam towards each other.
That's Wesley DeYoung you're getting a look at warming up in the bullpen for the Aces. One of the new additions for round 10. 0-2 the count. Likely would be coming in if Morrison can't get out of trouble here.
That flyout's a good start, though.
Now he's ahead 0-2. Look at home plate umpire tonight, Tom West. First time we've seen him this year behind the plate. 0-2.
Just missed.
Overthrew a fastball, 1-2 the count.
That's a good idea.
Morrison has primarily been in a relief role. Did make one start a couple Sundays ago against Brisbane, but that was more of an opening appearance for Jack Fox. 1-2. Chopped foul. Count still holds.
It was a big moment in the game, Max. 2-run game is a lead you can still probably manage, although it will be tough. Get the 3, 4 going into the bottom of 9. Tough.
Still right in front of him, but Morrison's going to have to keep it close.
Yep.
Again, the infield drawn in for the Aces. Arms left to right in the outfield. Burke, Whitefield, and Glendinning. As Morrison will step off, takes a deep breath. Again, no pitch clock here in the ABL. Unlimited disengagements as well.
It's going to be interesting when you go back to the States
right?
and have to make the adjustment to calling games with a pitch clock. That should be easier.
1-2, chopped to third. George up with it. Checks the runner back to second. Throws to first in time for the out. Albrecht comes in to score from third. Again, that ball was just chopped too high for the Aces to have a play at the plate. Spence drives in his second of the day, and it's 6-3 Adelaide. And here comes John Diebel. Looks like this will be it as the 3 big lefties do up here, and he's going to go to the southpaw in Wesley DeYoung. Well, we'll tell you all about the new lefty when we come back. Aces trailing 6-3 with 2 down here in the top of the 9th.
Blinds Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Aces trailing Adelaide at the moment. There is a pitching change, and with some of the pitchers not available, as we mentioned, Wesley de Jong, youngster, left-hander, just added to the roster. And this is a situation, as Max Tanzer pointed out, with Carr, Wingrove, and McArdle coming up. You want to go with a left-hander out of the bullpen. You're going to have to just try to get out of this inning here. With the only damage done so far, 1 run. But you really want to try and keep this thing close. So de Jong will come on and pitch to Jared Carr. And hope he can get Carr and end the inning right now. So Aces need, as Max has been saying all night, they need to outgain Canberra in Perth. They want to get that playoff spot. So Perth, if Canberra win 1 of 4, Aces need to win 2 of 4. Aces have the tiebreaker advantage over Perth. They do not have the tiebreak advantage over Canberra, and we see an update on that score, top of the 9th inning. Brisbane still holding that slender 1-0 lead over Canberra, which would be good news for the Aces, but if the Aces can't win this one, it remains still level, and Canberra would have that advantage.
Keeps them in it, right?
Yes.
Here's Jared Carr. First pitch down and away, ball 1.
So de Jong had pitched at Werribee. Not completely sure if he is still at the Werribee Baseball Club. But he's been thrown into the fire right here.
Right? Face the 3 best left-handed hitters in this lineup. Have fun. Down and away, 2-0. Again, Brisbane and out and away from beating Canberra. So that's good news for the Aces.
In fact, it looks like that game may be over. I'm not sure. It says game over. Who knows? We need to double check.
Pitching coach / closer for Brisbane, Carter Hope, picking up the save. Rings up Cam Warner looking to end that ball game.
There we go.
So the Aces, for the time being, have a half-game lead over Canberra for the 4th and final playoff spot. But if this score holds, they would return back to a tie. Popped up third base sign out of play, 2-2. Meanwhile, Perth and Sydney start tomorrow. They play a doubleheader on Saturday and wrap up on Sunday. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that one as well. Again, for those who are disappointed if Melbourne does lose this one tonight, it is huge that Brisbane won that game because they're back where they started from today if they do end up dropping this. Popped up into shallow left, Burke out. So is Dale, and it drops between them. Foul ball, and Carr will get another pitch.
Yeah, look at that again. Definitely looks catchable. Dale and Burke really not on the same page, I'm afraid. You can see Dale looking over at Burke. Just a communication issue there, to be honest, Max.
A tough one, too. They had to both go a really long way, but I think the toughest part for them is they kind of glanced at each other and overran it, both of them.
And, if you're de Jong, that's the pitch you wanted to make. That's perfect. That's what you want. You're out of the inning.
Can still get out of it right here. 2-2. Outside, 3-2. Did you get that one? Runner on third base. That's Puaka Grego. He's very aggressive with the left-hander on the mound and back facing him. He can get a big lead. 3-2 is cued past the mound. Dale charges his throw in time. Good work from de Jong to get out of the inning unscathed, but the Aces do allow one run. Here in the top of the 9th inning on the RBI groundout. off the bat of Liam Spence. Well, here we go. If the Aces can pull off a magical comeback, they would have full possession of that fourth and final playoff spot. Meanwhile, Esteban and Jimenez, the electric right-hander, looking to clinch the fifth consecutive playoff appearance for Adelaide when we come back.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Everybody bundled up, but they've stuck around to hopefully see some late inning life. It's 6-3 Adelaide, and playoff implications as high as ever as John Diebel takes a look from the third base coaching box. Esteban Jimenez out for his third inning. He's only completed 3 once this season. That was back versus Canberra a couple of months ago, the 22nd of November.
But you can see why they're rolling the dice. 5 strikeouts, only 1 hit.
Struck out 5 with the first 7. He's retired.
Exactly.
0-1 is taken down low, 1-1. Well, Giants fans, your team is 3 outs away from a playoff appearance, and you got to imagine Adelaide's feeling pretty comfortable with a 3-run lead. 1-1 is sizzled in for a strike. I mean, look at the ride on that heater, 1-2.
Yeah, he's been super impressive.
1-2. Line to center, softly hit. Carr charging, lunges out and makes the catch. Big out number 1 as Edwards is retired.
That is well hit by Mitch. Thought it might drop, but as you mentioned, nice jump on it there by Carr.
Some kids getting ready for some post-game autographs. Win or loss, hopefully they go home with a little souvenir. Here's Chris Burke. Chris is 1 for 3 today, singled back in the second. Jimenez, first pitch. Taken upstairs, 1-0. Well, we mentioned the strikeout numbers for Jimenez. They are through the roof, and they've only grown tonight. 1-0. Sent out to right, fairly deep, but Knight has plenty of room to make the catch. 2 quick outs, and Adelaide is an out away from securing their spots. For Jimenez entering tonight, 38 strikeouts in 23 innings. Well, what is he up to now? 43 and 25 2/3? Video game numbers.
Well, maybe Whitey can get that 300.
We'll see. He's the last hope for the Aces. First pitch. Bends it for a strike, 0-1. Not only would they clinch a spot in the postseason, but they would secure yet another winning season. 0-1. Runs outside, 1-1. It's all started with Chris Adamson in the 2017-18 season, took over, and he has led this team to the franchise's best run, breaking a drought of multiple decades for Southern Australia championships. He's won 2 consecutive Shields in a row, and they're on the precipice of another playoff appearance. 1-2 is a broken bat roller to second. Peruka Grego throws. It's not in time. A little bit wide. Pulls the runner off the bag. We'll see what the official ruling is, but if it's ruled a single, it's the 300th of Aaron Whitefield's legendary ABL career. Get another look.
I think they ruled it an error. I may be wrong.
They did rule it an error, so it's an E4.
Oh.
So the 300th hit will wait. Here's Jared Dale. Tying runs on deck in Glendenning. First pitch is popped up, shallow center. Puaka Grego out. Jared Carr in. Who's going to get it? No one. It's down. There's a break. The wind grabs it and says the Aces are not done yet. First and third, 2 away. Tying run to the plate in Robbie Glendenning.
Now, is that a hit or an error?
That's a hit. Oh, my goodness. Sometimes you don't have to square the ball up. Instead, just send it into that ever so daunting wind. Well, we're going to see a meeting at the mound here. Again, Jimenez has just tossed 3 innings once this regular season here in the ABL.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because, I mean, Glendenning's had a tough night. 4 strikeouts, but he does have power, right? If he can get hold of one, it's a tie ball game.
Absolutely, Ed. And he's had a tough night so far. 0 for 4. He struck out 4 times. I'll tell you what, one swing, none of that mattered.
Yeah, that's right.
None of it. But he's just looking to keep the line moving with Greg Bird on deck. Tying run at the plate. Everything on the line. Pitch is fouled straight back. 0-1.
You know what I can't believe? There were 6 errors in this game. 6!
It's unbelievable.
When's the last time you've seen 6 errors in a game?
Not a lot. Not in a long time. Excuse me.
I can't think of it.
0-1. Strike called 0-2.
Boy, that's a tough pitch.
For what it's worth, Estebenza Jimenez was a starter this year for High A Jersey Shore. Went over 5 innings 4 times, so he has plenty of experience in lengthy outings like this one. 0-2 the count with 2 away. Here's the pitch. Down low. Dale will take second. Whitefield very astutely holds it third. No reason to push it with the tying run at the plate. Wild pitch, second and third here with 2 away. Everybody up in that Aces dugout, as you can see.
And Greg Bird on deck, of course, if somehow Robbie can get on.
And Brisbane beat Canberra, so the Aces could gain a game on the Cavalry. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him swinging. The legend grows for Adelaide. For the 5th consecutive season, they've punched their ticket as they begin their quest for their 3rd consecutive Claxton Shield. 6-3 your final. And the Aces unable to gain ground on the Canberra Cavalry. And they'll be back where they started this morning at.
Frustrating game for the Aces, but this is a very, very good Adelaide team. And you said this early on, when you give them chances, errors, mistakes, they are going to take advantage of it. And Lachlan Wells rode out a couple of rough innings, did a really nice job, and then Jimenez came in and it was lights out. So hats off to this Adelaide Giants baseball club. We know what we were going to get from them, and we got it tonight.
Absolutely. They moved to 21-16, another winning season for them. And the number 1 seed is a game and a half out of their reach, depending on what happens with Sydney and Perth this weekend. As we get you started with our game recap, there's your final score. But Daryl George got a rally started with a single to right. Greg Bird advanced to third. George behind him to second on an E9. Down 2-0. This is when the Aces are feeling good. Morgan McCullough was thinking about his first Aces RBI, and he was able to notch it right here with a sacrifice fly to center field. That at the time cut the deficit in half to 2-1 as you see Greg Bird score from third base. Well, later in the inning, Mitch Edwards comes to the plate, and he has been as clutch as it gets over the last couple of ball games for this Melbourne Aces team. And he didn't have to square it up right here. Instead, he shoots a soft little liner through an open right side for a base hit, his 6th run batted into the season. At that point, tied the game at 2 apiece, and if you're the Aces, you wipe out a couple of tough defensive first innings, and you're feeling good. Greg Bird adds to it with a line drive RBI double to right center field. That would bring around Jared Dale to score from second base, and at this point, the Aces have their first lead of the night.
Yeah, the nice fight back from the Aces. You're feeling pretty good about yourself at that point in time.
Absolutely. Moving forward later into this game, it would be all Adelaide. So you can see Jonathan Tripp on the mound, and that's Nico Puaka-Grego trying to drop a bunt down, and he doesn't get the hit, but does reach on the E2 as Edwards couldn't pick it up cleanly with some tricky spin. And then later in the frame, top of the order, Jack Ward over the drawn-in infield just softly punches a single to right field to tie the game at 3 apiece. At this point, still nobody out later in the inning, and Liam Spence barrels up a line drive to center for a sacrifice fly. That would give Adelaide a 4-3 lead, and they wouldn't look back in this game, Ed. The Aces were held scoreless, and they would add out a couple of extra unanswered runs in this game, as we'll see here. The big man, Rickson Wingrove, as this is a throw into second base. Really good tag from Dale and a good throw from Mitchell Edwards. At that time, kept it a 1-run game with 2 outs in the 8th, but then Rickson Wingrove comes to the plate with 2 outs and slices this double into the gap in left center field. And really, if the Aces look back on this one the defense, but 2 outs production from Adelaide. They couldn't finish these innings.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's been a problem. Was a problem at Sydney last week. Is a problem here tonight.
Here's McArdle barreling up a liner inside the chalk that would roll to the wall. Brings home Wingrove to score from second base. That made it a 5-3 Adelaide game, and at that point, they're feeling mighty good just having to record the final 6 outs. But later in the ball game, top of the 9th, Kyle Morrison on the mound, and it's Liam Spence who chops this one just a little bit too high for the Aces to have a play at the plate. George takes the sure out, brings around the run to score. That was Albrecht from third base, and it doubles the Adelaide lead to 6-3. And then as we saw in the bottom half of the 9th inning, the Aces would end up rallying, and here's that little run right here. Whitefield sends a soft dribbler up the middle, and this E4 just stretches the runner off the bag, making that the first baseman, Wingrove, off the bag. Then Dale. It seemed like the Aces were catching some breaks, and maybe we'd see some pixie dust here as this ball drops into the middle of nowhere onto the highway. That's a single for Jared Dale in unique fashion, but Robbie Glendenning struck out to end the ball game. So the Aces lose this one 6-3. They fall to 17-20 on the season with 3 games to go. They're tied with Canberra for the final playoff spot. They don't have the tiebreaker, so really they're 1 game back. They're also 1 game back of Perth with the tiebreaker. So you just look at it like this if you're an Aces fan. 3 games to go, outplay Perth or Canberra by 1 game and you're in.
Yeah.
It's a little complicated, but it's possible.
Yeah, it's certainly possible, absolutely. But as it goes on, you need to make up some ground. So big win tonight for Brisbane over Canberra, but the Aces can't take advantage of that. So it's back to square one tomorrow. Bottom line is the Aces got to win something, right? They've got to have to win, because if they don't, if they lose them all and Canberra lose them all, Canberra's in.
Absolutely.
Right? So the Aces do have to win a game. So maybe tomorrow night in front of a big crowd, on Friday night with fireworks, that's the night.
Expecting a big one tomorrow. Make sure to come out to the ballpark. There are still tickets available, but we are expecting a large crowd, so those might run out quickly. So head out online, go to melbourneaces.com.au, head to the tickets panel, and get those tickets for the final Friday night fireworks night of the year. Should be a good one. Again, the Aces in the thick of the playoff chase. The Adelaide Giants, the second ABL team to have clinched a playoff spot. They're currently still in position for the first seed as well. That's all we got for you tonight. For our entire Sportscast Australia crew, for Ed Wyatt, I'm Max Tanzer. We'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow for 6:50 for our Brick Lane pregame show. First pitch scheduled for 7 o'clock. We appreciate you tuning in. Have a great rest of your evening. Adelaide wins this one 6-3.
This broadcast is powered by Sportscast Australia.